Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the C3 Friday Free for All, the show for the fans, by the fans. Your opportunity to come on the C3 podcast and make your voice heard. Tonight, we're joined by some Friday Free for All faithful. You know him, you love him. First up, we got my man Drew up there in Maine. What's going on, Drew?
What's going on, Cody? What's going on, fellas? How you doing tonight?
Just chilling.
Doing good, man. Doing good.
A little bit of news from the Panthers this week, but nothing we shouldn't be overblown about. I mean, it's business, people. It's business.
At this point, I think any news is good news because it provides us something to BS about on a Friday afternoon. No real football related news, but at least Panther adjacent. So we'll figure it out. This next man is a connoisseur of midget wrestling. It's White Chocolate Espresso, formerly known as Kevin Boshoven. Kevin, what's up, brother, man?
Not much. Just sipping on.
By the way, what does that hat say right there?
Midgets with attitude.
Midgets with attitude. My man actually went to a midget wrestling event.
That shit was awesome.
Yeah, that's a powerful word. Here.
I once dated a midget. I once did. So, and when we broke up, let's just say I still feel that pain.
Broke up.
Why did? Huh?
She was the one that got away, huh?
She got away all right. How's that?
Oh, couldn't get your hands around her. Oh, snap. All right.
Well, this podcast
we're off to a wonderful start on the Friday Free for All, dude.
Derek Brown is going to be a breakout player this year.
Next up, my man, wearing that number one as always, Nick Montero. Nick, what's up, brother?
What's up, man? I'm just trying to keep it together while I'm looking through some prints for work. But Jesus, man, we're already starting off strong. I like it.
I love it, man. That's when the shows are the best, man. Firing on all cylinders. Next up, what would the Friday Free for All be without Panther Pickle? Kenneth, what's going on, man?
What's up, guys? You know what? For 2 years, I've been working at this. Well, I've worked at the plant for like 16 years, but for 2 years of COVID, I work in a manufacturing plant that produces bags for flour bags, charcoal bags. We even produce the wrappers you get around moon pies. I mean, we do quite a bit. And long story short, even the little lids on beer, like you buy a beer can, there's actually a lid that fits over top of the can. It's called a can lid. We sent the bags to the company so they can put the lids and send them into the beer companies. Anyways, well, that's the company I work for. So it's White Large. For 2 years, we've worked nonstop. And for 2 years, and we haven't got a raise during all this, right? Well, the boss man comes out earlier this week and says, Friday, the owner's got a surprise for everybody. Everybody's hyped up. We're going to get a dinner, maybe a cookout, maybe a little extra in the check, something, right? You know what he brings us? Ice cream freaking sandwiches. One apiece. Ice cream freaking sandwich. Dude, if I take my ice cream sandwich and I lay it on my boss desk, you better take this home in case you need it later.
Dude, the nerve of these billionaires, man. These people, man, taking advantage of the middle class. Hey, I appreciate you, Kenneth. You're a hard worker, and your work goes noticed here, man. So shout out to Panther Pickle, man. Y'all give this man up. He only got some ice cream sandwiches, and that's fucked up. I hate that, man. Yeah. But hey, we're gonna have a good day today. We're gonna try and make up for it, have some good Panther conversation. Everybody hit the like and subscribe, share it with a friend if you'd like to. Next up, from 9 Lives Panther Podcast, it's my man Keeb holding it down in New York. What's up, brother?
Hey, fellas, what's going on?
Dude, happy to have you back, man.
I love to be here. Love to be here.
Oh, right. Like I said earlier, man.
I want to shout out to our folks across the ocean here, because I was watching a little bit of that Jubilee. And I got to hand it to my new little man, Prince Louis. He's a man. Stand up doing all this. He's doing what he gonna do.
I didn't
you ain't
even
seen
know
that little
something was
video. During this
I honestly
entire
had
video.
no idea something
Yeah.
was happening.
Oh,
I had
well,
no idea.
They did this big celebration, okay? And during this entire video and the entire celebration, standing next to the Queen, little Lewis is doing everything a kid does: scream, yell, put hand over his ears when jets fly. So much his mama says quiet down, he just rolls his eyes and goes,
Who is
"That's
this?
what kids do." Prince
I'll
Louis.
try
Who's
and
that?
find it.
He's just like 3 or 4 years old. It's really cool just to watch the photos he puts out.
Who is he?
Is it
It's
Prince?
Queen Elizabeth's great grandson.
Oh, okay.
One
Oh,
of them
so the
royal kids.
Jubilee. Well, she turned 100.
Well, she's been on the throne for like
70
100
years.
70 years.
700.
Man. Yeah, right.
Well,
it
maybe
feels
she
like
is.
it. Yeah, right. You never know.
But I'm
but-
sure she never had to worry about her electric bill getting paid.
Nope, never at
Don't worry about
all.
anything
Not
with
when,
money.
not when you're royalty. But hey, everybody, hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell for every single time we go live. Gentlemen, let's jump into this because the biggest bit of news surrounding the Carolina Panthers this week was basically around David Tepper and the real estate arm of his business filing for bankruptcy. Here we are again. This feels like something of a turning point in the war between David Tepper and Rock Hill, South Carolina. I'm going to pull up an article here in a minute. But what was your first idea or what was your first thoughts when hearing about this story? And then I'll pull up this article. Who wants to go first here?
I was
Not
not
surprised.
surprised.
Okay,
Thank
tell me
you.
why.
It's business as usual for billion-dollar companies. Insurance companies do it during Hurricane Katrina. It's just a way for them to get out of paying what they. It's just a way for them to get out of paying money. This is all it is. It's many companies have their businesses in different ventures separated, so that way they can. That way one part of the company can go bankrupt. And that way, it don't hurt the other part of the company.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
created
so-
that
right.
shell company specifically for this reason, in case something
Yes.
like this happened. The
Yes.
Panthers, the Charlotte FC has no liability whatsoever. It's that shell company and David Tepper alone.
You don't know
and,
how.
So this is no, my bad, Keith. This is from
No, you good.
Sports Illustrated. This is Panthers owner David Tepper, real estate firm GT Real Estate Holdings, has filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, according to Joseph Person from the Daniel Kaplan of The Athletic. Per the report, Tepper's real estate company went bankrupt following the issues related to the team's new facilities slated for Rock Hill, South Carolina. GT Real Estate Holdings LLC had liabilities between $100 million and $500 million, assets between $100 million and $500 million, and up to 49 creditors. Now, I won't read the whole article, but there was an interesting thing at the bottom, and it basically kind of indicated that this may potentially end up being a good thing for Rock Hill going forward. Potentially, like this might be some way for them to reconcile. I'm still kind of. Most of you might even know more about this than me, even. But it seems like this is kind of cleared the way for something of a reconciliation. I don't know if I'm even understanding this right, to be perfectly honest with you. But I don't know what to make of this. Who wants to jump in on this one?
Yeah. So,
Keeb, why don't you go and then I'll go? So,
yeah. Thank you. What I was initially going to say was, I thank God. I mean, I was at work, right, and I've been listening to a couple of podcast stations or radio stations, and everyone seems to be crying over this, and there are people predicting the end of Tepper Sports and whatnot. This is just a way to recuperate funds that otherwise would be just left sitting there. I mean, David Tepper initially went into an agreement with Rock Hill. It fell through. It is what it is. Now he's able to recuperate some funds that he otherwise would not have been able to get from the city because they refused to pay. This might be good for the city because if I'm not mistaken, even after filing for bankruptcy, he still owns right? Does he not still own the facility?
He still owns the land.
Right. So
I do think so.
so
Yeah.
there you go. Now I think it paves a path for them to move forward to some degree. He doesn't have to pay tax on the land anymore, and he gets some amount of tax write off even after that. So
Yeah.
His credit's gonna be shit though now.
He's a billionaire.
Yeah,
He'll
he's
just
a billionaire.
I guess a lot, so for example, this is what Nick Wilson of WFNZ said. He said, "Don't be angry at Tepper. Be angry at the system that allows him to be able to do this because what he's done is technically legal." And I think one of the reasons, Kib, you said a lot of people were kind of, upset by this, and I think, again, this is not a politics show, but especially with the world, the way it is right now, gas prices are through the roof, inflation is crazy right now. And you have a billionaire who's, an arm of his company is going to file for bankruptcy. And this is going to affect him absolutely none at all. So
I'm sorry,
Nick.
Nick.
If I'm being real, and then I'll let y'all go back on this. A lot of this feels like, well, damn, here it is, another rich guy basically getting, being able to get away with some crazy shit that your average person would never be able to do in their life and maintain that normalcy to their lifestyle, if you would say.
Yeah. So right before Nick goes, I'm sorry. So I would like to say just like, it's wrong to say that regular people can't do this. It's just you have to go through the steps of opening your own business so you're not liable for it. If it was like a stadium and he paid out of pocket for it, he would not be able to do this, right? He offshored it into his own company, and he's able to do this and able to recuperate the funds. But from what I've seen, I don't think it's more of what you said, Cody, at least not from what I've seen. It's more of people don't understand what bankruptcy is. It's people are saying he's mismanaging things and everything is falling apart around him. People just don't understand the concept of bankruptcy that rich people do all the time. So, go ahead, Nick.
Yeah.
So, like I've said to you guys numerous times, not only do I work a full-time job, but I also have my own business. Now, I am not incorporated yet or anything like that, okay? But in the training that I've gotten to get my master's electrical license, they go through and they kind of give you the basics on business. Now, you don't get an in-depth dive on everything, okay? But the reason why companies incorporate is so that way if there's ever an issue as far as like a lawsuit or in this case bankruptcy, okay, the individual owner can still carry on with their life, okay, but they're not going to have their business anymore, okay, and that's just trying to simplify it as much as possible, okay. They also, one of the things that is very well known, at least in the business world, is whenever you're trying to explore into new ventures or you're trying to expand something, okay, it's always good to have things divided up into separate companies, okay? So that way, if one aspect falls under, the whole corporation doesn't fall under, okay? So if I was to go out and incorporate tomorrow and start up ABC Electrical, but then I also wanted to go out and, let's just say I was licensed in plumbing as well, I could do DEB Plumbing. Okay, let's say there was some sort of issue where I was promised something by the town of, Charlotte or the city of Charlotte, signed some sort of contract with them with the agreement that they were going to pay a specific amount under contract. And then I based my expenses off of the agreed upon terms, what I would need for material, that sort of deal. And then all of a sudden, Charlotte didn't hold up their end of the bargain. You bet your ass that project is going to cease. It's going to stop. Now, the problem that you're going to have whenever you're dealing with a property like this that is under construction, okay, you have numerous contractors that even though the project is stopped, you still owe them money, okay? Well, yes, a majority of the contract is done based under the amount of work that is done. It's all done based off of inspections and stuff like that. So you have a rough inspection, final inspection, certificate of occupancy, that sort of deal. Okay.
And it's basically like they didn't come through on their end of the obligation, and now you're left up holding the bag that you thought you. So, for example, they talk about between 100 million and 5 million in asset whatever, and then Raquel didn't come through on their initial payment.
Exactly.
Well, it's like they didn't expect to be down this bad. I understand it, man. I understand that there's a lot of things at play in this, and at a certain point, and again, this gets into things of a political nature. It's like, look, all these billionaires, it doesn't matter what their political affiliation. If you're worth a certain amount of money, it doesn't matter how you vote. The things are designed to make you, in a way, bulletproof, man. The game is rigged in your favor, and that's just the, that's basically just the way it is. Go ahead, Kevin.
I was gonna say I don't really have a problem with it. Just don't be preaching to me about money responsibility and paying off your debt, paying off your student loans.
Right. Yeah, that's a great point too, man. It's like, and you know what, Kevin? I'm so happy you mentioned that, because that's another reason why people are pissed off at this. Like, Nick, you make a good point. Like, if you went out of your way and you're doing this deal, for you, like that, this would be absolutely catastrophic if something similar to this had been happening to you directly, right? Whereas David Tepper, for him, this is, like I said, this will have absolutely no effect on this man's life. It'll just be another, like another mosquito bite to this man. And I think if he had carried
that debt, Cody, it would have affected him, because I think that project was 175 million or something like that. I don't know what the exact numbers.
I thought it was in the 200 some odd millions, but I'm not.
Yeah, I mean,
certain.
Even though the guy's a billionaire, $200 million, man, that's still a good chunk of change.
What's the percentage of that? I think he's 12 billion, right? So it's like
something like that.
16.7.
And then, if you see what I have up on screen, Substation. Apparently, they're the sub shop in Rock Hill. I've never had one before. Apparently, everybody swears by it. They say that it's really good, but they kind of went viral or semi-viral with this tweet taking a shot at David Tepper. The Tepper sub, we quit halfway on the way through.
They're petty.
Yeah, we quit on it halfway through. Yeah, and
sounds like a football team.
Yeah, man, it's kind of like everybody's taking.
They didn't get halfway through
now. Let me ask you all this, right? So, okay, Keith mentioned, if you look at the finer details of this, it is what it is. If you want to be upset about it, David Tepper did what any other person in that situation would do. But do you feel like David Tepper and all of the numerous flops that he has had associated to his name recently has in any way affected the Panthers as a brand? I mean, it really does seem like every time there's a news story related to David Tepper, it's something negative. Him failing to get Deshaun Watson, no Rock Hill. Now you have a coach that fans don't believe in. You have all these different kind of things going on behind the scenes. And by the way, I'm not a soccer fan, but apparently Charlotte FC right now is in shambles. They just fired their head coach. They've been shuffling around people at the top of that organization. How do you feel about David Tepper right now? And do you feel like he has been a bad reflection on this organization as a whole?
I think David Tepper, without realizing it, I think he's over his head. I say that he went in full speed. And instead of, he's changed everything at once, and he's stuck. The soccer part, I don't understand a lot of the soccer. I don't. But my understanding is they fired the head coach because there was one player that said, he goes or I go. So they got rid of the coach and kept the player.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah.
I didn't hear any of that.
Yeah.
I'm thinking soccer is kind of like
Sonia Wilson in the chat. I know you say Panthers stink, but darling, we love you anyway. So do you stink, by the way, too, but we love you anyway. So.
Sonia Wilson?
Show up here.
I didn't even see her.
Even if you never had a shower day in your life, we don't have to smell you. We love everybody, whether you
Yeah,
stink or not.
Yeah, we don't even turn away the people who are Saints fans, dude. And
No.
could you imagine willingly choosing to be a Saints fan, dude? I could never.
Yeesh.
Yeah, that sounds
I
crazy.
don't know what
And
you guys are
not
talking about.
everybody
I
is
hate
smart.
everybody.
Not
Yeah,
everybody,
yeah, right.
Yeah.
I hate everyone on
not,
the phone.
not everybody is as smart as us. You know.
Yeah,
That's the
right.
thing. I
For
work for a
sure.
Cowboy fan. Today at work, the Cowboy fan
Now we get it.
driving a fork truck, carrying a basket. Somehow or another, the basket went under the fork truck, and the fork truck tilted against the road. He climbs out, goes, gets another fork truck, and tries to prop it up. And I told the boss, I said, he's a Cowboy fan, y'all. You can't hold that against him. He ain't that smart.
He's a
Oh
Cowboy
my
fan.
goodness.
His IQ is wanting a couple points. You know,
One of the
He's,
main reasons I come on this show is because of Panther Pickle.
I also told the boss, I said, next time give the man 2 ice cream sandwiches. Maybe he wouldn't have done all that.
Hey, that's right. Hell, at least 4 of them. Shit.
Could you guys imagine if Panther Pickle and G Baby worked together at the same place?
Oh my lord.
That
They
would
would
be
be
bad. No. We would have to have a whole bunch of
accident at work.
people. Yeah,
Pickle
we
and
would
the
have a
Baby.
whole
Oh my
bunch of
God,
people
no.
there. No, Panther Pickle. Wait, don't.
You can call it Pickle and the Baby.
Pickle and the Baby.
That's just nasty.
Dude, I would watch that sitcom, though. I'm gonna be real with you.
Wait a minute. How much does this shit pay? I might get into that shit if it pays them.
Yeah, I know. Hey, don't worry. We will
But
have a legitimate negotiation phase. I promise. Man,
We none of this David Tepper negotiate neither.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I've been drinking
man.
peanut butter whiskey.
And so by the way, this is some of the list of. Again, this is not a Charlotte FC show, but some of the happenings in the football club. Tom Glick steps down as the president of Tepper Sports. Nick Kelly steps down as the CEO of Tepper Sports after only being on the job for 3 months. And then May 31st, Miguel Angel Ramirez is sacked by Charlotte FC, or Ramirez, pardon me, is sacked by Charlotte FC. So, I mean, it really does seem like, this early era of David Tepper Sports, he's having to learn a lot of shit the hard way, it seems,
I have friends who watch soccer. They're like big into it. They said Charlotte's doing great. I mean,
Is that what they said?
I kind of heard that. Again, I don't follow. I kind of
either.
heard that they halfway overperformed, better than expectations.
I got some Latino friends
it's
that
the first team,
that
first year.
watch soccer quite a bit. They said the same thing. They
I
watch
think
soccer quite a bit.
Tepper's gonna have a big issue with that artificial turf going forward because soccer players do not like playing on artificial turf.
That's what they told me. That's the biggest thing right now is Tepper's artificial turf is that other teams don't want to play on it.
Well, I thought they had to play on it, right?
Huh?
I thought they had to play on it. That's why he has it, right?
No, he did it because he wants to use Bank of America Stadium for
It's
other
cost
events.
efficient.
Yeah. Other stadiums. It's my understanding. Other soccer fields, like out in Europe and stuff, they always use natural gas.
Yeah, it's just a way to.
My understanding was that in the UK, like over there in England, they all have strict
all of them.
union, like a players' union, and a part of that union over there is they do not play on artificial turf.
Well, you have to remember during Tepper's meeting, when Tepper did that interview, he said that he was talking about Heinz Field when he was up in Pittsburgh, and they had natural grass, and when they had different concerts and college games,
it would cause erosion.
The amount of money that it took to keep up with the natural grass and everything.
Yeah.
He didn't want to deal with that cost, so that's why.
Drew, not on top of that, exactly. That's my point. Like on top of that, I understand where he's coming from. It would cause erosion around the stadium itself. It would cause rust and all nonsense. But I'm saying if you're the richest owner, like for once, why don't you put some money into your goddamn team? Like,
yeah, man.
I don't understand. Like you fail to like. I mean, I'm not even going to go into the politics of it all. Like, but initially we've been clamoring for a lot of things, and all we get is fucking artificial grass. Like, come on now.
Yeah, and
Artificial grass, virtual panther, and
Yeah, right.
no more key pounding.
The brand.
Right.
somebody
brand.
said
The
that
brand shit.
somebody said that the best thing David Tepper has done as the Panthers owner is put the Panther in the middle of the field. And that's
Damn
pretty
right.
much it. Yeah, like,
hey.
ever since he moved
Well, no,
to
he
the field,
did. He
that's
did
pretty
that
much
training
it.
bubble, didn't he?
And the training bubble, yeah.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
true. He did the bubble. I did want to bring this up from our man, the Sports Nut, CJA. Says Charlotte FC is in the thick of a playoff hunt
Yeah.
in their expansion season, then fired their head coach halfway through the season after preaching for us to be patient with Matt Rhule. And I do think that is a good criticism. It's like you're speaking out of both sides of your mouth. Whoever this coach
but there are
was.
two totally
Thank
different
you.
situations with that.
Thank you.
They
Yeah,
were going to
Cody.
lose one of their major players if they didn't get rid of the head coach. In soccer, your players are like in the NBA players. You get rid of the coach before you get rid of the player.
Let's
Hey,
Yeah.
Cody,
Yeah.
also, we
let's
just
also
talked about it.
let's
We just
also
talked about it.
remember their
We'll go Kevin
head,
and then we'll go Kenneth and then
I
Kevin.
got you.
Yeah, go ahead, Kenneth.
you got to remember. Now I don't really follow a lot of soccer, but I do listen to BFNZ a lot.
Mhm.
And you got to remember their head coach at one point said on national TV or on their video, he said, we suck. We're just going to suck ass. And he had a lot
Damn.
of blatant criticism of the way he handled certain things. So
Well,
And
you
that
can't
was
be
the
you can't be
Charlotte-
negative in the media. You
No,
just
but
That
can't.
was the
You know.
that was the Charlotte coach that was fired.
yes,
That said that.
yes.
Well, I want to say this though. We just talked about it. He refused to go with natural grass for the football team because it's so cheap and it's cost effective. You don't want to fire Matt Rhule because it's going to cost him. He's cheap.
Right.
He's not worried about
Yeah.
the money with Matt Rhule. He
That
can
might
pay
be it.
home.
That might be it.
See, that falls back on the NFL Players Union. If the NFL players, and I've criticized them before on Twitter, if people come against me on it. Let's just be bluntly honest. If you don't know what unions could do, then you need to do research. If the NFL Players Union had backbone, they would get a lot of this fixed because they would say, listen, till you put natural grass in all the fields for our
Yeah.
safety, we ain't playing. Till you
But
eliminate
Kenneth, they're
this
cheap too.
inactivation bullshit.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. They don't have
They're a bunch of
backbone.
rich cheap. Yep.
They don't have the backbone. They don't have the fortitude to control what they want to control. That's why other sports players association get by with a whole lot. That's why NBA players get by with a whole lot more than NFL players do.
Well, there's less-
they
Yeah.
don't
But
sit
dude,
in
I
the-
know the baseball players association.
Oh yeah.
Dude, they get everything that they
But
want.
Exactly.
Cody, even after
Yeah.
having a backbone, the owners still give them about 35% of revenue instead of 50.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
that was the
Yeah,
whole bullshit
I mean-
with them. But
yeah.
See,
At least
the
they're
other
doing
thing is
something.
too. The other thing
Right.
is too, and this plays into politics. This plays into everything that happens throughout the world. Okay, if you want one thing from somebody, it's going to cost you something. Okay,
Yeah.
nothing in this world is free. Everything
True
comes
that.
at a cost. Okay,
True
so
that.
you can only get so much. Okay, well, yes,
Yep.
unions can be strong, and it takes having a backbone. At the same time, you can only push so hard.
Yeah, well, especially for these, that's why early on when it was Jerry Richardson, and he was really one of the leading voices on behalf of,
Yeah.
the owners and how much they have to pay to upkeep stadiums and all this other stuff. And, the
You would think a
players.
former player would look out for his, other players, but I guess not.
Yeah, and then the real truth is, at the end of the day, as cold as it sounds, everybody's in it for themselves, man. If
Yeah.
you're a player,
Mm-hmm.
you don't care about that billionaire owner. You're putting your body on the line to play football, so you're trying to get every penny that you're able to get while you're playing NFL.
The rich
And
Out
players-
of all the
especially
major sports, the NFL union, players union, is the weakest out of all of them.
Yes,
Right.
100%.
Right.
Well, hey,
And
how about the UFC? Mixed martial artists, they don't even have a union. They're pretty much at the behest of the
Aren't
Ultimate
they
Fighting
independent
Championship.
contractors? Or something?
Yeah,
I
they're
guess
all
so.
independent
Yeah.
contractors.
that's
Yeah,
all.
yeah, pretty much.
The USFL is now trying to get a union growing, and I kind of laughed at that one. Don't you got to get yourself started before you get the union?
Right.
Yeah,
right.
there's no way there's no way they're profitable enough to have a union right now.
By the way, how about the XFL? They getting that 3-year deal with Disney and all that shit.
Yeah, they're coming
Oh,
back.
is that real?
The
Yeah.
Rock is not playing around this time.
3 years with Disney and ESPN.
Rock said, "I'm gonna get this thing on the road."
And so before we
Now, if
jump
The
into
Rock narrates that, I'll watch it just to hear him talk.
Right.
I didn't like that Super Bowl thing. I was like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
dude, I just want to
That
hear
was
him be
weird.
The Rock.
Yeah.
That was weird as hell.
Dude, I don't want to
Yeah.
hear Dwayne Johnson. I want to hear The Rock again.
Exactly.
The Rock said. Anyway, so Kevin, you brought this to you tagged me in this, but this is true, and I wanted to mention this before we go to Matt Rhule. According to Shannon Quick, both the Panthers and the Seahawks have shown the most recent interest in quarterback Cam Newton. Listen, at this point, I feel like I've asked all of you if you want Cam Newton to be on this team like 500 times. So now I'm just asking you for the likelihood. Like, what is the actual real life likelihood of the Panthers wanting to sign Cam Newton? And if they do want to, then what are they waiting for?
I think 75.
It's very low.
I think it's high.
Oh, okay.
So
go ahead.
I know.
Explain
Yeah,
yourself.
so we'll go to Kevin, then we'll go to Keith. Kevin, why do you think so?
I think they're playing chicken, and I think they're using Baker Mayfield as a way to play chicken. Like, hey, if you sign for less, we'll take you. If not, we're just going to get Baker. And I think Cam's just sitting there like, all right, go ahead, sign him. Go ahead and get Jimmy G. I'm not moving away from what I want in my deal.
Okay.
And he's not afraid
Okay.
to hold out and wait till preseason to get it.
So
I got
basically,
Seattle.
but
Yeah, Seattle.
so is Cam Newton playing a dangerous game there?
He don't care.
Like,
I don't think he cares. He's at that age where, in that point of his career, where he's like, "This is what I need."
Okay, Keith, what do you think?
I mean that I obviously I didn't think of it like that, but in my opinion, judging from what this team has already gone through with Cam, cutting him, bringing him back, really only to sell tickets, in my opinion.
Yeah,
and I still don't believe they're treating. Like if they even take on Cam as a possibility, they take him on. They don't treat him, or they don't treat this team around him as a liable. Like I just imagine if they treated Cam like they do with the Ravens with Lamar Jackson, right? Actually playing to his benefits and allowing him to find success. I mean, even if we get him here, I just don't think they're playing to his strengths. But regardless, I mean, if they really wanted him, they would have done so already. That's really all I have to go on. I just don't know. I feel like if he was on a team, it would have happened already.
I think
I look at it this way as far as Cam Newton is concerned. I love Cam, but honestly, if they don't bring him back before training camp, then I don't want him to bring Cam back.
Yeah, it's like for his
another thing.
Bring him in, let him start studying the playbook and be on the same playing level as everybody else instead of bringing him in late after Sam Darnold and everybody else have had 3 to 4 months to study the playbook, and you got him behind the 8 ball and say, well, Cam wasn't up to par. That's the exact thing. Well, Cam wasn't quite ready. Well, how could he be ready if he's behind the 8 ball walking through the door?
I wouldn't be
shocked. And by the way, doesn't it set up the perfect scenario, Drew, for them to then play favorites with Sam Darnold?
Exactly.
And say, oh, okay, well, Sam's
got a better
been on the he's been learning the new Ben McAdoo playbook longer than Cam Newton has. So it's gonna go Sam Darnold, Cam Newton, and Matt Corral. And in my mind, like now you've added 2 more players that are in front of me seeing the rookie player that we're all excited about. But then on top of that, you're going to do that to Cam Newton again. Like that's why I've come around to Tony's side of the argument, where it's like, dude, I'm kind of just wanting to be minus the pain of it all now.
Yeah.
Like if we're gonna turn the page,
I don't want none of them. No offense. I love Cam Newton. I said before, he's the only player's jersey I ever have.
Yeah. Same.
I'm done with all this, y'all. I don't want no quarterback. I don't want Sam Darnold. I don't want Sam, but
You want
I don't want to deal with Cam.
You don't want any more acquisitions.
No, I don't. I don't think Baker Mayfield is worth the trouble. I believe Jimmy G. I don't believe he's worth the trouble, but I don't think he's going to get cut. The Niners are not going to cut him. The Niners would just go into the regular season with him as a starter or a backup. They have no problems with that.
If Baker's not traded or cut, I think Seattle signs him before trading.
But we also need to clarify.
Cleveland's not going to cut him.
We also need to clarify. Seattle came out after that news broke and said they are not interested in Cam Newton. They were interested in Cam Newton right after Russell Wilson got hurt, and Cam didn't want to come up there and sign. So that, which Cam has said before, he had interest from Seattle, and since then there has been no communications between the two camps.
I think Seattle will sign Colin Kaepernick before they sign Cam Newton.
Yeah. I don't want him either. I just don't want the bullshit. That's just, and I don't mean to be offensive to anybody. I just don't want the amount of bullshit that's going to be.
Well, did y'all hear that the Raiders? I don't know if anything came of it, but apparently
they worked him out. They worked Colin Kaepernick out.
Yeah,
they work him out to see if the grass is good.
But let's be honest. Let's be honest. What are they going to say? They're going to say he really looked bad. I mean,
but Seattle didn't even work him out. They just brought him in to talk to him.
Well, I mean, but also they haven't signed him yet either. So it's not like
that's why I said I believe Seattle would sign Colin Kaepernick before they signed Cam Newton.
Yeah,
I really do.
Yep.
Well, you got the other thing to think of too.
Go ahead, Nick.
The other thing to think of too with Cam is he has kids.
Yes,
you know, and so
actually.
Yep, and they aren't all with the same mother, if I remember correctly, right?
A lot of child support.
So I believe he has the oldest is so his baby mama, woman, girlfriend, whatever she is to him now. She had a child from a previous relationship, and then I believe she then went on to have 4 with Cam herself. So. Yeah, 5 in total for him. But he says he considers her a daughter.
Yeah, I mean,
But to fire back on this Cam,
I was wondering.
In all complete honesty, I believe the Panthers have already made an offer to Cam. Cam just don't want to sign.
Yeah, I think he's just playing chicken. He's like, all right.
I mean,
go ahead and go.
Why should he? Why? I mean, other than, and I know, but I don't think Cam is a legit starter. But I just don't. Now, I would absolutely love it if he showed up at training camp and proved my ass wrong.
I think he's like, you pay me this, or I'm not going to. I'll be fine sitting out the rest of my career.
I just want to move forward because I don't see them. I don't see them making Matt Corral. If you sign another veteran quarterback, Matt Corral will be inactive every game this year.
Yeah, he will.
Nick,
unless someone gets hurt.
So my thought is this, okay? Trust me. I'm wearing the jersey. I want to see Cam back. Okay?
Yeah, right.
But,
no one can doubt any of our love and affection toward Cam.
Yeah. I think you guys are right. I think they're kind of both playing chicken with each other to see who's going to make the first move. I think the Panthers came at Cam with a low offer. And also, I know that they didn't guarantee Cam the starting job. And after how last season went, I can't necessarily blame Cam for not jumping right at the bit to sign.
Yeah.
It's quite honestly, if I'm Cam, I'm telling the team I need 15 mil. And I don't necessarily know if that's a good number or a bad number. But I need 15 mil, like 10 guaranteed. Okay. And I want to be able to compete for the starting job. Now, me personally, I hear you. But me personally,
last year, right?
He did for 9 games.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like Ken said, and slightly contradictory to what Ken said, okay, I think Cam can be a starter. I am curious to see how he would do starting a full season, how he would look closer to the end. I worry that his shoulder might not necessarily hold up as well as it would have in the past, and the fatigue will start to show at the end. But at the same time, that would also be a good time to bring in Corral. Let him sit behind Cam until probably about week 11 or 12. So that way you have at least one game before the bye week to see how Corral does in an actual game. And then you know what you need to work on during the bye week with Corral.
I mean, it's
That's
not like
just
you
my
don't
two
have the
cents.
money. to spend.
Let me, if I may, let me ask:
Yeah,
if you're
man.
Cam Newton, who decides who wins in the quarterback battle? If you have Cam Newton, you have
Honestly,
Matt Corral,
McAdoo,
or you have
Yep.
Matt Corral, who decides?
I think McAdoo.
Okay, but
No, it's still gonna be
does
Rhule.
Matt Rhule decide? If
Rhule's
Matt
gonna decide.
Rhule holds the cards that he decides this,
He's going to listen to McAdoo. He listened to him on the pick.
yes, but if you're Cam Newton, you ain't coming back if you know for a sure fact Matt Rhule's going to be the one solve this.
Yeah,
Solve this.
but I don't think
If you know you're competing with Sam Darnold and Matt Corral and Matt Rhule is the one that decides who's starting,
he's going
I
to
don't
listen
see
to the
Cam
expert.
Newton coming back for that.
He's going to listen to the expert when it's shot.
I'm not gonna say that. Matt Rhule,
I hope he does, but
If he's smart, he will listen to the expert.
well, we are talking
you just
about Matt
answered your
Rhule.
own question. White chocolate espresso. You just answered your own question.
Hey, your white
Yo,
chocolate
Kevin-
espresso doesn't turn sugar.
Kevin actually fucking has people calling him white chocolate espresso.
Before I came on here, I tried to get like a picture of a white chocolate espresso in the background, but like my head kept on freezing. So I don't have the system for it right now.
I'm so mad that I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Like,
I'm an idiot savant, man. Have you
dude,
realized that?
dude, now it's like that's all Tony refers to you as. You're white chocolate espresso.
And I'm his son. You know?
Oh yeah, that's right. And you're
He's
his
the
son,
only
dude.
money.
I think T Baby was drinking a little bit too much that night.
Hey man, so look, you're talking about T Baby, but if we're being honest, there's really only one. And his name is T Baby.
Oh man.
What up? What up?
Nick goes away.
What's good, boys?
What's going on, G baby?
G-Baby,
Hey, how my dogs doing, man?
Shit, I'm out here chilling, man. Living our
You got
best
the
life,
weekend.
brother. How about you?
Man, I'm good, man. I just got back from my son's graduation, man. God is good, man.
Hey,
Nice.
congratulations, Big
Hell
Papa.
yeah,
That's
dude.
big time, brother.
Hell
Good
yeah.
shit, man. Hell yeah, congrats, man. Congrats. Yeah, man. So look,
Oh, yeah.
let me before we move on, you know I gotta let G chime in on Cam Newton's situation, man. Sheena Quick said the Seahawks and the Panthers are the teams with the most interest in Cam Newton. You know I already know that you want Cam to be on this team. I'm asking you, what's the likelihood that the Panthers actually do sign Cam Newton?
Bro, to be honest, I'm over it.
Yeah.
And that's coming from me. I'm over it.
Speak that
I'm
shit,
done.
bro.
I agree, bro.
I'm done.
Tell him, bro. Tell him.
Because if you truly wanted this man in the facility, he'd be signed. Like, why the fuck is he not signed? Like,
Right.
why not give him the best opportunity to learn the playbook? Like, it just,
Yeah.
bro, honestly, I'm so sick of these guys, bro.
Yeah.
I'm so sick. Like, it is, like, how do you not want to bring back a former MVP? Like, bro, it truly blows me away. I don't think they want to win. I don't.
Yeah.
A lot of people have been questioning it, man.
As
And,
I said, at this point,
go ahead,
I want to
dude.
get to the preseason. If Matt Corral even shows a quarter of an ounce of knowing the playbook, I'm starting in week 1.
I would do that.
What do you have to lose? If he can show that he can
Right.
handle the playbook, stick him in there and let him go. So you know
Yeah.
Sam Darnold's not coming back next year. So why even bother?
Yeah.
And bro, like,
And
if
this
I'm being
is
real- go ahead, G.
honestly, it confuses the fuck out of me. Like, it's confusing. Like, first of all, why are you doing the fans like this?
Yeah.
Like, you're trying to tell me you guys don't hear the fans telling you guys to re-sign Cam Newton? Like,
Yeah.
I'm over here in Utah. You're trying to tell me you guys over there are not trying to bring, like, bro. Oh my God.
It's weird times, man. It's weird times. And then so I know that Keybar, you saw this. This was making the rounds on Twitter. We're about to listen to an interview of Matt Rhule, the head coach of the Carolina Panthers, describing the process and what exactly the process means. And I have my own thoughts, obviously, about this whole thing, but I'm gonna so it's 2 minutes and 20 seconds. I'm gonna let the whole clip play, and then like a bunch of interpreters, we're going to see if we can derive any kind of cohesive message from whatever the fuck Matt Rhule just said, dude. Let's try.
So this is Rhule to English then?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's listen to this card artist just lie out through his fucking
Like
mouth.
Robbie Anderson's Twitter thing.
Okay. I'll come sit with you next time.
Thank you.
All right. Next question, and I really like this question, and it's from Darren Bitter, who I believe, do I see your name tag? I thought so. Section 550. And Coach, I think you're going to like this one. Talking about the process. That's a word that we hear you use a lot. What are the top 3 components of the process?
The process to me is just, I mean, like it's simpler than maybe it sounds. I think somewhere along the way, it sounds like it's like, hey, it means it's going to take a long time to do something. I don't think it's that. I think it's just very simply recognition by all of us that every NFL team right now is saying they want to win their conference. They're saying they want to go to the playoffs. Every NFL team is saying they want to win the Super Bowl, and every NFL team probably really believes they can do that if things work out. So we all have the same goal. So what can be different? It's really the steps that we take and the things that we do. And so to me, it's about the mindset really in this building. When you come in this room, I think everyone believes it. Like it's the job of every player and coach in here to have their best year this year. And the only way we can do that is to just be in the moment. And in a society where like our phones and social media, and I mean, it's constantly pulling at us to not be present, like to be present, to try to get 1% better every day, to take ownership of the things that we do, to take accountability of the things we do, and just keep moving forward as a team. And so we believe that if we improve as a team and we keep improving, eventually we'll hit our goals and then we'll have all the success that we want. So I think it's that mindset that, that kind of that 1% get better every day mindset, attacking every single day. And the word that we like to do that uses standard. Thomas Davis comes to practice a lot, and Thomas talks about the standard being the standard. And I think what's really cool, and people have to remember, is I tell Thomas sometimes, like, Thomas was a standard setter, and so when you have guys like Thomas Davis, they're going to set the standard. And so guys like Shaq Thompson and Christian McCaffrey, for me, are guys that I believe are really setting the standard right now. They understand what it takes for us to win. And if we set that standard every day, if we go out tomorrow, we have an excellent day tomorrow, we just keep stacking those days together, then eventually we'll have the success that we want. On a separate.
All right, thank
you.
That's the end of the clip. Who wants to go first and tell
How
me
did Matt Rhule get the fucking head coaching job?
Who wants to tell me what in the fuck
he
Matt
can't
Rhule just said?
1% better. He has to go 100% to get 10 wins.
Does it? Well, what did this man just say? All right, so hold on. I want
to. What did he just say?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well, can I ask you something real quick, Cody? Can I ask you something, bro?
Go ahead, bro.
Does David Tepper watch these interviews, G? I'm being dead ass, bro. Does he watch what, bro? This is really starting to really bother me, bro.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, you guys. I'm about to lose my fucking mind.
Hey, Cody, how much does 1% equal in wins?
Probably less than Matt Rhule has. Probably less than Matt Rhule. That's my thing. Matt Rhule is the master of using so many words to say nothing at all, dude.
That's every coach.
This is my thing. It's not that I even have a problem with any in particular thing that Matt Rhule said. What has become painfully clear to me and everyone is that there is nothing unique about this man. All this man is doing what every coach essentially in the NFL is trying to do. Hey, everyone, let's go out there and give our best effort and try and win football games. That is his process. There is nothing deeper to this man at all. literally.
Bro, this is some
all.
pee-wee shit. Some pee-wee football shit, bro. This is the type of talk that you would get to your fucking pee-wee football team, bro.
Well, maybe that's
I'm
what they
so
need.
pissed off.
Maybe that's what they do. Let me tell you something. You may or may not know. You folks may or may not know.
My PB coach.
Go ahead,
I
Ken.
find it very offensive to my PB coach.
Derek Brown and Brian Burns both have pressers they've gave in the last few days. Both of them have said Derek Brown said he's lost weight. Said that he's in better shape now than he's ever been since he's been in NFL. He said he's actually lost a little bit. Well, he's back at 320 where he wants to be. He's not 340 where he was last year.
Exactly.
Too big to move. He said even if you go back, even his teammates said he looks. It's just OTAs, but he looks much faster and much more mobile. Brian
This
Burns
is Derek Brown. You said
yes.
Okay.
Brian Burns have said he's learning a lot of technique that he didn't know before. He's learning the technique from the veteran defensive line coach that he's never learned, and he said he wants to be good. It pisses him off that he hasn't had double-digit sacks. And this is, to me, this is part of the process. Guys who wants to come in instead of being a rookie, instead of being, well, I want to be good. No, you want to be great. You want to be the best there is. Being good ain't worth it. You say, well, we just want to win games. No, that ain't good enough. We want to win it all. We don't just want to win games. Earlier today, somebody asked on Twitter who was the best corner we have on this team right now. They threw numbers out. Let's be honest. The best corner is who shows up on Sunday and starts making interceptions and starts making wide receivers regret the fact they're lined up to him.
I'm sorry, Kenneth. I'll fight you on that one. Number 8 is definitely our best corner. No questions asked.
That's false. That's false. Dante Jackson's our best corner.
Exactly.
G baby, you want to put a jersey on that?
G,
I'll tell you what.
I will put my entire life that Dante Jackson. Hold on. Can I ask you guys something? Did you guys see the clip where I don't know who threw the pass, but it went right through Tommy Trimble's fucking hands, and it was intercepted by Dante Jackson? If Tommy Trimble's going to be dropping these balls, why did we pay him all this money?
But this
It's
is
practice,
though,
though.
man. Yeah, this is
My brother, it's practice.
You're getting.
Deshaun Watson threw a pick in practice. Does that mean he's bad?
You know what I will say though? I'm happy that we have.
He's a professional athlete. He shouldn't be dropping balls like that.
I'm happy that we have J.C. Horn and Dante Jackson on this team right now. I feel like our defensive backfield is the nastiest that it has been in a very long time. Kenneth, I wanted to ask you a question.
Okay.
Do you feel like Derek Brown and Brian Burns saying that and talking about the strides that they have made physically? Do you believe that's them showing that they do believe in the Matt Rhule process? That there is something tangible about this process for players to hold on to?
Yeah, because if first of all, let's think of the process outside of football. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I'll speak for myself. Every morning I get up at 5 a.m. and I drink me a cup of coffee to get ready for work and I leave. That's every single day. Okay. And after doing it for so many years, on Saturday when I don't have to get up, I still get up at 5 in the morning, drink me a cup of coffee, and I get online and see my football updates. Okay.
It's a habit.
It's a process. It's a habit. Yep. What? Replace the word process with habit. You know, Thomas Davis. Did Thomas Davis wake up one morning and say, I'm going to be great? No. You know, Luke Kuechly wake up one morning and say, I'm going to be great. No. They put it in their mindset that said, here's the things I have to do to be the best there ever will be. Steve Smith was drafted 3rd round. It pissed him off. He said, okay, motherfuckers, from here on out, you're going to get the guy you don't want to see. And he made it happen. Why? Because he got it in his gut. He built that fire, and that fire stayed lit. That's what we're doing.
Hey,
all right. So go ahead, Kevin. And then I want to ask a follow-up question.
You know who else was drafted in the 3rd round who's kind of pissed off right now?
Matt Corral.
Matt Corral.
Exactly.
Hell yeah.
Exactly.
So hold on. So let me let me go off of this then. So he even kind of mentioned that, and then I'll go to Keeb after this because I know he had an opinion on this. But do you think that a lot of it was that Matt Rhule, since he's been here, just hasn't had a Thomas Davis figure, hasn't had those kind of entrenched long-term leadership Panthers to be able to instill that process?
He honestly hasn't.
Yeah.
Thank you. He has it, G.
He hasn't really.
Yeah.
He has it, bro.
Luke retired when he got hired.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it, dude. There really hasn't been any like a leadership tone setting type
on
of
offense
presence.
and defense.
Yeah, I feel like maybe Jeremy Chin and maybe Shaq Thompson are probably the closest that we have on defense.
Imagine
Dante,
Jeremy
maybe?
Chin, Dante Jackson, J.C. Horn, actually under a real secondary coach like Steve Wilkes.
Yeah.
We still have a Steve Smith on this team. I just don't see like somebody's going to beat the fuck out of somebody. I mean, Matt Corral beat the fuck out of somebody in college. But
yeah, Matt Corral. Yeah. Dude, I'm hoping that Terrace Marshall becomes that dude for us.
Yeah.
That beats the shit out of you type
player. It
player.
was good in preseason. I don't know why he haven't got any success or anything.
I just think he got hurt right there shortly after, and I think the rookie thing just got to him. I just
think they were trying to run the ball more.
I believe he'll come in this year and go lights out. So,
he's on my fantasy teams.
Hey, I did want to make a point though. Doesn't it feel like kind of a cool story that's potentially setting up? Like, let's say the Panthers don't add anyone to the quarterback room and they just leave shit the way it is. You have Sam Darnold and Matt Corral, two dudes that nobody's really expecting a ton from, right? But we have the framework of a good football team around them now. I really do feel like if you look at all the buildup of this team, I see the makeup of a surprisingly good football team that can be one of those surprise teams in the NFL this year. Like, imagine, again, let's say Sam doesn't cut it, and then Matt Corral comes in, and the offensive line is enough, and the receivers are enough, and Matt Corral has enough balls to push the football down the field. Like, dude, that's not outside of the realm of possibility, man. I really think so.
That could happen. I think if Matt Corral and Sam Darnold are the only two quarterbacks on this team, I think Matt Corral wins it out.
Yeah.
If they don't bring in a veteran.
Kid, you still there, bro?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah, man. I wanted to let you chime in on this Matt Rhule thing, man. Give me your opinions on this thing, man. Whatever they are, let us have it.
Yeah, I mean, Cody, you saw what I posted on Twitter. I mean, it's ridiculous how people get so upset over the littlest things. I've never seen fans. Well, I mean, actually, I'll take that back. I'm around Panther fans all the time. So essentially what this man said, he directly answered the question, and he said, "We like to keep the status quo of taking one step at a time and looking up to mentors like Thomas Davis, looking to greatness such we had in our team that we do not have right now." It's unfortunate, but that's what the process is. And I completely agree with Kenneth when he said that people are expecting such an elaborate response from a man who essentially has had everything against him when he came in. I know people like to blame Sam Darnold on one person, but it was not one person. It was a whole group of individuals sitting down and praising this guy, saying maybe he can be something coming after what crapshoot where he was with the Jets. And that organization, how they bombarded him and any hope of development with Sam Darnold. And not to mention the second worst offensive line last year, which Scott Fitterer gave his behest on. He said, this is the best we can do. If anyone can go back to that last confidential, there was a whole party and everyone was toasting to that offensive line, saying, "Hey,
Bro, I'm about to get on your ass.
We're gonna hold on now. They toasted on it. They're like, hey, this is the best we can do. I think we could ride with John Miller and Michael Jordan. That's exactly what they said. They said that. Everyone's golden boy, blazer eye, Scott Fitter said that. So everyone likes to put the blame on one person. It's really not. It's an organization fault. It was a fault of an organization. They all fell apart from the seams because they decided to do this. Now, this man's simple mindset, I get it. People don't like it. But guess what? It's the truth. People need simple. Like Kenneth said, people need guidance in the littlest ways. You can't just, guts and God and glory people to death. I get it. People want something exciting, but it is what it is. I had no problem with it. I get it. The definition of his process isn't the best definition, but at least he was honest, right? That's my thing on it.
John Fox also said the process a lot.
Right.
No, he said it is what it is.
He also said the process.
I always remember that. It is what it is.
Yeah. He also said a punt was a great play.
Did he really?
Yeah, John Fox John Fox said the best most of the time the best play calling that you can come up with is a punt. But John Fox also said if you can't run the ball, it ain't worth playing. When John Fox went to Denver, he changed and actually got Peyton Manning. He literally turned the offensive over to Peyton Manning, literally.
It doesn't surprise me.
But because he changed everything when he went up there. Everything that he was in Carolina was completely different. When he went up there. Except when he got hired, he told him he was going to play a 3-4 when he got hired. About a month into being head coach, he said, "Nah, we're going to play 4-3."
I mean, my thing with Matt Rhule is, look, obviously, I want the Panthers to be successful this year. And I don't hate Matt Rhule enough to want to see him fail if it means that my Panthers are going to be a dumpster fire again this year. So inevitably, yeah, I am pulling for Matt Rhule. The thing about that is
didn't you want that last year though, or the first year?
Yeah, ultimately, we're going to have to be doing that every year until someone proves themselves.
And also, let's be honest, Cody. There wasn't much that this man could say that would not warrant a disappointment from everyone. Everyone hates this guy too much to even listen to what he has to say.
Right, and I understand that, Keeb. My only issue, though, is that it seems to me like he has all the ingredients of a snake oil salesman. And that all of the things that he says are technically good. There's nothing wrong about them. And yes, as many of you have pointed out, there is some truth to be had to it. He hasn't necessarily had a Thomas Davis or a Luke Kuechly and things of that nature, right? But it also does not sound like Matt Rhule has a clear and concise vision of what the Panthers need to do exactly to be successful. And I think that you see that in the hiring of his coaches. And now he is putting the defense on Snow and Steve Wilkes, and is putting the offense in the hand of McAdoo and Campen. And then he gets to be the rah-rah guy. Let's go put your best foot forward and be the best version of ourselves. And then he gets to have all the accolades for being the ultimate motivator, that everyone believes in the process. And it all kind of seems like bullshit to me. And it doesn't seem genuine. And it doesn't seem like he's saying anything that should warrant the fact that he got paid what he did coming out of college, having no NFL experience.
So do you know who he sounds like? He sounds like Matt Corral at when he's interviewing for the Combine. Just scripted shit.
Just kind of mumbling shit.
Later.
Sounds good.
Later.
Hey,
Well, I mean,
Cody, did Matt Rhule under this regime? Did they sign Cam Irvin?
They did, yeah, last season.
Okay. Did they sign Pat Elflein?
They sure did, yep.
Did they draft Brady Christensen?
Yes,
They did.
Okay. Did they draft Deontay Brown?
Yes, they did.
They did. Believe it or not, I'm still
Okay. Now those veterans I just named, They were a part of this worst offensive line, right, of all time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are they still on the team?
Yep.
Well, I mean, we upgraded it. We fired the O-line coach. I don't know. They made moves. I don't, we have to prove that it's better. But
We also got Austin Corbett. We also got
You
Bozeman.
mean the dude that was drafted by the Browns and then they traded his ass after one season?
But
You mean the guy who's better than half our offensive line graded in terms of PFF?
It says by what, though? Off of one
says by his
season? He went to the Super Bowl being around a great-ass team? If he was so great, why didn't they bring him back?
We should let G Baby do the ratings.
Then
Yeah, right. Because I'm not.
Bring him back.
I'll take anything other than last year.
Wait, hold on, Drew.
The Rams didn't bring him
Everybody,
back because they wasn't paying nobody.
wait, hold on. Everybody pause it. Drew, what did you just say?
I was just telling G Baby they didn't bring him back because they didn't have a salary cap space to bring him back.
Yeah, everyone. Apparently, he was
So
one
we
of the
finished
highest rated.
under 500. Where are we? Where are we?
What, this year?
I mean, Matt Rhule.
Like, what are we gonna do?
Right?
We're one season away from being the fucking Browns. The old Browns.
The Browns have expectations.
No, I'm talking about the old Browns, bro.
Yeah.
What have we done? I just don't understand. Like, what the fuck are you guys talking about, man? Because the last time I checked, the last great season we had was 2015, and it's 2022 now. So, like, what the fuck are you guys talking about, man? I'm sick of the bullshit. I'm sick of the soft sympathy bullshit, bro. Like, come on, man.
G-Baby, this is the difference.
You want us to cry in a circle?
Hold on. G-Baby,
No,
this is the difference.
I'm sick of the bias-ass fans. I want the truth.
Hold on. People believe
Let's speak the truth, man.
And what Federer is building as opposed to what Matt Rhule is coaching. And that's a legitimate point. Federer, especially recently, has done a much better job building the football team than Matt Rhule has.
Hold on, Cody. Scott Fitterer is the one that brought in this abysmal offensive line last year.
True.
It was Scott Fitterer and Matt Rhule. And Scott Fitterer sounded
in his first offseason as general manager, though.
Right.
And he came in halfway through the offseason.
We keep saying, though, that Matt Rhule didn't have experience versus this guy who had experience, who's been around a championship team. Is that not true, though? He has been around a championship team.
Matt Rhule was head coach in college. Okay, Scott Fitterer was what, one of the assistant GMs, or he was in accounting or something like that. He wasn't even high up.
Right, but we keep talking about experience.
Who has final say of the roster?
Matt Rhule has final say.
Seems like Scott Fitterer.
Scott Fitterer is getting too much credit for that Seattle championships, bro.
I'm not trying to put credit on him. I'm saying at least he's been around an organization that knows how to win a championship versus one that has ever tried to attempt to be there and only did it twice in its entire
have a winning season. We're not trying to.
Right, exactly. But my point is this: like, we keep talking about experience, right? This guy was brought in because he had the experience. He has been around a winning culture. Matt Rhule hasn't, right? I understand what everyone's saying. Why is he still here? But it is what it is. He is still here. So
7-year deal.
We can't keep saying kumbaya. Well, we can't go around in a circle and jerk each other off and cry. That's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't really make much sense. Hold up now.
It really is what it is at this point. But honestly, I think they made a mistake when they drafted Derrick Brown.
You said it was a mistake to get Derrick Brown?
I think it was a mistake drafting Derrick Brown. I think
big mistake.
The 8th pick in the draft, you don't sign a defensive tackle.
Facts.
Well, at least not a
defensive tackle.
8 overall. You trade down at that point. If you
trade
can't get
down or get
Cody's everybody knows that Marty Herney wanted Justin Herbert. We all know that.
Yeah, but he went before us.
The Chargers jumped got him right before it came to us. At that
but how do you know the Chargers were willing to trade down? That's my point.
No, I'm saying the Panthers should have traded down.
No. Herbert went before us.
Correct. That's what I'm saying. Marty Herney wanted Justin Herbert.
He wanted the Panthers to trade up.
that he didn't want to trade up because he didn't.
The
think
Chargers drafted him a pick ahead of us.
Yeah.
Marty Herney did not believe that the Chargers would take him at that pick.
Right.
So
They should have just traded back. That's what he's trying to say.
That's why he sat there.
Yeah.
But what should have happened, instead of taking Derek Brown at pick 8, the Panthers should have traded back.
And got
Yeah.
You trade down and collect assets at that point. Derek
Yeah,
Brown
go look at the back end of that
but
first round,
I'm
G.
saying, okay, so but I'm saying you still gonna trade, you still gonna pick somebody, right? I'm
I'm
asking you.
Look at that draft and see.
Right.
What year was that? 2019.
What I'm saying is you don't.
Yeah, 2019.
You don't take a space-eating defensive
Yeah,
tackle.
Cody, can you pull it up? Can you pull up the entire list?
Yeah. What year?
First round at least.
That was 2019.
19.
Yeah, 2019.
Well, to be
Yeah.
fair,
I think it was 19.
Oh, bad that one defense.
What is honestly, Derek Brown has been a disappointment.
He has
The biggest disappointment.
He was
And that's
never-
why we should have traded his ass.
He was never going to be a great.
Yeah, but
passer.
guys, we needed a defensive tackle.
But we
Wait a
definitely
minute,
right.
needed it.
Keith, wait a minute now. Derek Brown was never going to be a great pass rusher.
I don't think. Yeah, he wasn't. He wasn't. He's a run stopper.
Which is
And
what
our
we needed at the
our
time.
run stopping defense is trash.
It's trash.
Right.
His
Absolutely
motor does not
right.
run high. Derek Brown's
Is that
motor does
because,
not run high, boy.
hold on now. Is that because
was
of
worse
one
before.
player or is that because of the system we run?
that's because we ain't.
Both.
This is the wrong year.
That's because
That's
Right,
both.
Kenneth. Thank you.
That's both,
Thank you.
man. That's both, G.
Oh, we ain't
No,
got no
it's
fucking
not
linebackers.
both.
We
It is
have,
both, G.
No,
had-
it's not.
we
It's
had-
not both.
Wait,
A 3-3-5, G? That is
We
horrible.
had pathetic.
Guys, hold
we
on.
had pathetic
Guys.
coordinators.
Hold on. We can't talk over each other, or else it's unlistenable. Let's
You're
go
right.
to Kenneth.
My bad.
Let's go to Kenneth. No, everybody's cool. Let's go to Kenneth, and then we'll go from there. Go ahead, Kenneth.
Okay. We had pathetic. We still have pathetic linebackers. You just do.
Terrible.
Be honest. Be honest.
All right, we have pathetic linebackers. We have safeties who
I don't know
don't
if I
really
can see that.
fit. Okay, we have a pathetic defense. We have players that are too young to be on that field at the same time. Okay, to be real, when Derek Brown was he? We could have got a better player. Yes. Is he the worst player on the team? No.
Hold on now. I mean, I'm looking at this list, right? And then, I'm looking at Isaiah Simmons, who is still a project. He was touted to be one of the best linebackers coming out who could play safety.
He's a bust.
Who could play
Now,
corner.
last year,
Let's be real clear. If Matt Rhule had his way, we would have drafted C.J. Henderson instead of Derek Brown.
Thank
That's
you.
just a simple fact.
And by the way, just for reference, apparently last year Isaiah Simmons did have a good season.
Right, but Cody, do you remember? I mean, you're a Clemson fan, right? Do you remember what they were saying about him? He was supposed to introduce this new sub.
They were honestly talking about Isaiah Simmons to do like what Micah Parsons did.
We could have
But
done
better.
really
But better.
We
But
could
better.
have Houston Worth. We could have took Jared Wills.
Tristan Watts.
We could have started fixing our offensive line then.
Yeah, but they were looking for a defensive player. Everybody knows that, though.
Our defensive line was trash. So.
After
Yeah,
we
thank
traded for C.J. Henderson, Matt Rhule said on a
Justin
press
Jefferson?
if I wanted him number one, but I was told we couldn't draft a corner.
Thank you.
Oh, for
Hey,
CJ.
can I say
for
something?
CJ?
Yes, Matt Rhule would
Can
have
I say
drafted
something?
C.J. Henderson.
Yeah, go ahead, G.
Hey, you said who could we have gotten, G? Well,
Yeah,
there's
this is a-
Jarek Wells right there.
Oh, G.
No. Go further down, Cody. Go all the way down.
So G baby, they were looking for a defensive player.
We could have
Justin
drafted
Jefferson.
Patrick Queen.
There's Kenneth Murray right there, the linebacker from Oklahoma.
Oh come on, you like.
Bro,
Are we
what?
gonna sit here? Are we gonna sit here and
Michael
just bash
Parsons?
one player?
Michael Pittman Jr.
Hey,
You
look,
could do
hey,
this
whoa,
in
hold
every
on.
single draft, folks.
Wait, let me
In
say this.
every
Let me say
single
this.
draft in the history of the NFL.
I mean, hell, there's AJ Terrell right there.
Look. Let me
We
really
could have
put y'all on
drafted
game.
Henry Ruggs.
Tristan
Hold on,
Wirfs.
wait.
Hold on,
Let me
Cody, go
really
ahead.
put y'all on game. Derek Brown, it's not that he's a bad player. It's that he was overdrafted.
Well, you
And
So,
that's
for
what I'm
example,
saying.
Right. So, for example, if we were picking 18 or 19 and picked up Derek Brown, that would be a really good first round draft pick.
Exactly.
But when you're picking in the top 10, you're expecting a premier pass rusher.
Talk that hard cash money shit, Cody.
And a premier run stuffer. And up to this point, Derek Brown has not been that kind of football player. Right.
Derek Brown sucks.
You cannot put that on one man, though, Cody. It's a system that we fail to put around him, and we put more effort on DBs than actual linebackers. That's been a fact
what I'm saying. It's the system, okay? We should not be running a 3-3-5.
Why are we talking about Derek Brown only?
Okay, so Keith, you just said we could have went for a linebacker, then trade down and take Kenneth Murray.
Right, but I'm saying our defensive line was abysmal.
It was.
Okay, that's why you signed the veteran D tackles like K1.
There's two things that teams look for. Either they draft for need or they draft for best player available. It was just one of those years where we drafted for need and it didn't work out for us.
Derek Brown was a classic.
You draft for
Derek Brown
need
was a
instead of best
classic.
player available, you
Marty
always
Hurney
end up
pick.
screwing up.
Derek Brown was a classic Marty Hurney pick.
Wait,
Yep.
time out. Time out. Go back to Drew. Drew, say that one more time.
I said when you draft for need instead of drafting the best player available, you 9 times out of 10 end up screwing up.
You get Sam Bowie.
Facts. Thank you. Hey, Kay, give me one draft. Hold on, Cody. Give me one draft that you can honestly, genuinely say, damn, that was a nice ass draft. Give me one, just one, bro.
You can't.
Just
Why
one.
are we even?
You can't. They
But hold on.
What does that have to do with it?
But to be fair,
This ain't magic, bro.
he's only had 2 drafts. You know, Federer has had 2 drafts that call his own. So it's like, that it's kind of not fair. But I want to ask Keith a question though.
Yeah.
Like, okay, if you said, which is true, he hasn't had a ton of support around him. But my question to you is this: do you think that we would be having a different conversation about Derek Brown if he did have better pieces around him? And what do you think that we could still potentially see from him that would warrant him being that top 10 pick?
I don't think when we talk about getting pieces around him, I really think they're truly trying to figure out a number 2 defensive line around him. It's one of those things where, like, you saw his tape in college. He doesn't necessarily have the moves in terms of the hand moves or the hand counters, right? He was one of those, just put him out there. He's gonna go get that tackle, or he's gonna go get that sack. Powerful, but it doesn't necessarily always work in the NFL, especially when you're in a conference with good offensive line, or has been good offensive line. The Bucs have had a great offensive line as of late. The Saints have had a really good offensive line. The Falcons, well, it's debatable.
Middle of the road.
It's middle of the road, but we have
on the video about how, like, the linebackers have hurt Derek Brown when it comes to, like, run stopping.
Right.
That was a great video. Rashard.
Yeah, but I also feel like there have been times when he hasn't done them a lot of favors too. It's a weird combo because
I put it this way: when Derek Brown comes up, I don't believe they'll pick up his 5th-year option.
If I
that's a good. So Kenneth, I'm gonna go to you right now. But first, I want to add my man JD54 to the stream. JD, what's up, brother? JD, you there, man? All right, we'll come back to JD in a second. Kenneth, what
Derek Brown, the top 10 pick that got benched, bro.
I want to tell you the 2020 season, and I've got it pulled up. Let's be honest. K1 Short started out as the guy right next to Derek Brown, but got hurt early on. Okay, the starting linebacker, or one of the starting defensive men next to this rookie was Stephen Weatherly. Let's understand that. Okay.
What's the guy from Tampa? He was
the
linebacker,
the starting Matt Rhule linebacker, Tashir Whitehead.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's a big thing.
those were the guys
It's a big
around
thing.
there.
So basically, they
And
built
when-
a
You're a
team
shithead.
from the start.
Exactly. So when K1 went out, and it was earlier on, they stuck Zach Kerr, and we like Zach, but Zach Kerr's not a true starting linebacker material or starting defensive tackle material. They
He's a
got
good
this
football
old
player.
guy, he was 35 years old, Hamilton, to come out. I mean, and then, but the guy who was right next to Derek Brown most of the time was Bravion Roy, a rookie,
Yeah,
sixth-round pick.
And this, and I
That
feel
matters.
like this
That
is
matters a lot.
Yeah,
so. I feel like
right
this is
along with
kind
your
of
corners.
yeah.
you
It's
were-
kind of lost on most people that the beauty of that 2014, 2015 defensive line.
Right.
It was K1 Short and Star Latulele in tandem playing off of one another.
Hey,
They
Cody.
started last-
And
Look out
let's
my
understand
off-grid's
something.
comment right here. Off-grid's comment. Go back to off-grid's comment
Yeah.
right there. And
Yeah.
that's exactly right. Brown was drafted to be a space eater, but my whole point was you don't draft a space eater
Right.
at number 8.
That's
Exactly.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Yes.
That zero
but
tech,
that falls
one
back
tech.
on David Tepper's incompetence as an owner, or should I say, his rookie ownership.
Well,
Who
Marty
failed him.
Herney
Yeah.
and Matt Rhule made that pick. David Tepper didn't make that pick.
No, but
But-
David
but
Tepper,
hold on.
David
No, that was
Tepper,
Matt Rhule.
David
But
Tepper,
Kenneth, so to defend Kenneth, I think what he's saying though is that if David Tepper would have fired Matt Rhule the season that, or at the same time that you fired Ron Rivera, then
Herney,
then
exactly.
if he would have brought in another general manager, maybe we would have gotten that guy. Maybe it would have been Fitterer. Even
Cody.
then, maybe it would have been Fitterer, and maybe Fitterer would have made the right decision right there, as opposed to drafting Derek.
Hey,
Brown.
Cody, I got a question. At 14 in that draft, that's the next defensive tackle taken. Do you think we could have
Yep.
traded down between 14?
I mean, honestly, that's kind of what I wanted to do, man. Did y'all see Javon Kinlaw go off on that dude from the South
yeah.
Hell yeah,
Carolina?
my boy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Grant Cohn. He just went
We don't
on
have
his,
a dude like that.
No, but dude, man, like,
Mike Tyson
Could you
said it
imagine?
best. Social media is giving people the right to talk a bunch of shit without the fear of getting punched in the face.
but dude, honestly, that's
Hey,
the thing.
fucking man.
Yes, you're right.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's what we need to do.
And he's got a
We
lot more to do
need
with-
to get a Panther player.
And I'm one of those people. I talk a lot of shit, huh?
Dude, we need to get a Panther player to come on the C3 podcast and just talk shit like that.
Yeah. You know what?
Amen.
That
Amen.
product that you just had pulled up, Cody,
Mhm.
the CJA. You know, let's be real. When they actually
That one?
benched, when they benched Whitehead, Jermaine Carter come in, and Jermaine Whitehead was so bad, Jermaine Carter looked like an upgrade that year.
He really did.
Yeah.
Everybody was talking about how great Jermaine Carter looked.
I was
That's
big
a
on
fact.
Carter.
And to be fair, I feel like that does kind of go back
Yeah.
to Keeb's argument too. That like, listen, Luke Kuechly always said this, and it always stuck out in my mind.
Yes.
The defensive tackle position and the linebacker position are tethered to one another like a
Right.
quarterback is to a receiver.
Right.
And if they're playing fast, it's because the other position is allowing them to play very fast. And to Keeb's point, we have not had that dominant 3 tech next to
Not at all.
Derek Brown. We
Not
are
at all.
also,
Right.
and like CJA is
Not even
pointing
the
out,
middle linebacker.
we
either.
have had jack shit
Right.
at the linebacker
Right.
position.
We need a
Cody, it's their own fault. They signed Denzel Perryman, bro. They didn't give him a chance, and then he goes off and makes the fucking Pro Bowl.
Well,
G.
it's more of
Yeah.
he didn't want a vaccine. Really.
That's a politics.
No,
and I bet you.
Oh,
Jack would find that.
But listen, if it
Hold
was the
the
vaccine
hold the
or
phone
not,
here. Hold on.
even if it, but one thing there, and then I'll go right to you. Even if it was the vaccine, he wouldn't have been the only player in the NFL that didn't take the vaccine. So it's not like that had to be a. It's not like that had to be a bridge to.
I mean, obviously there was some underlining frustrations with him already.
Yeah.
So
go ahead.
it-
Yeah,
maybe
go
not-
ahead.
Still,
conforming
but you
to-
brought him in. Why just?
I never said it
Because
was right or
look at
wrong.
No, I hear
I'm
you.
just
Hold on, let
giving
me
you-
go to Nick. Let me go to Nick. Next one.
Because G baby, look at what happened the first day of training camp. Okay, Denzel Perryman gets pulled over for speeding, and hey, I'm not one to judge. I like to drive fast. I've gotten speeding tickets. Okay, but I don't post them all over social media. And then I don't show up right into training camp wearing my helmet right after I got a speeding ticket for doing 90 and a 65 or whatever
And
it
he
was.
got hurt too.
That's
Right.
pretty fair.
And then getting upset.
Yeah,
And
most
then
of
he
that
got
camp, he was
upset.
hurt.
Exactly. And then he got upset because he thought that he was coming in as the starter without having to compete with anybody to take that job. So
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
if
He
you
was just
take
not
a
Matt
bath in
Rhule
gas,
guy.
if you take a bath in gas and you walk out and you light a cigarette, don't bitch when you get burned.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. That's
Hey, man,
Harrington
don't
did
think
not-
Hightower
he
was
was
That's
not
exactly
what
what
Matt
Perriman
Rhule
did.
was looking for as far as the brand, and he got rid of him.
yeah.
Listen,
Not fit
don't
the
think
brand,
Hightower
and
is a
he
free
got rid
agent
of him.
anymore.
That's the bottom line.
How old is Hightower though?
85.
Hightower's got to
He's 85 years old.
like 31, 32,
Yeah,
something like that.
exactly. And I think he's. I thought he was older.
But they built that defense ass backwards. Okay, fine. You want to take a run stuff and defensive tackle, then you also draft like Gettleman did. He drafted Starr in the first round. He went and got KK in the second round.
Yeah.
He's 32.
And they still have yet to address the linebacker. Okay, we'll see what Brandon Smith's got, but it took them this long to start addressing the linebacker situation. Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Carolina
Eric Brown was a KK
accumulating draft picks
He just was.
instead of giving away draft picks.
And Drew, how about this? Even out of all the moves that we made, yeah, I'm optimistic about Brandon Smith, but I don't feel like we have truly fixed that linebacker position yet.
We haven't. That's why I said we'll see what
No.
Brandon Smith has. But instead of us giving away draft picks to go get this player or that player or this band-aid or that band-aid, they should have been accumulating draft picks and building the team, the foundation, drafting young linebackers, drafting big defensive tackles, building it from the inside out, instead of trying to piece it together and say, oh, well, this is the brand, this is the process.
Yeah.
Your process don't work. Your process was half-assed because you were half in and half out.
When you say fix the linebackers, when you say fix the linebackers, do you mean like another Luke or just?
You're not gonna find another Luke Kuechly.
You're not. That's what I'm saying.
Even Matt Rhule walking into his rookie season, and for him to think that Tahir Whitehead was going to be a starting NFL linebacker was asinine.
It was.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. What do you mean by
that's his temple? That's his temple guy, though. That's his temple guy, bro. Matt Rhule's so stuck in his ways that he had to go get the corner from Baylor. Like, we couldn't go a whole draft without drafting someone from Temple or Baylor, bro.
That was a good pick.
Hey, by the way,
he's so stuck in his ways, bro. I swear to God, bro.
It was a seventh.
That's why I fall back on the.
I do think that Barnes could be a free safety for us.
That man's a fast beast. Like, seventh round, take a flyer on the fastest guy.
Wait,
Cody, say that again. I couldn't hear you.
I'll agree with the fact. Okay, you take a flyer on Barnes in the seventh round. Okay, he might be able to play for safety. He's fast. We can do that. I ain't got no problem with that.
Yeah.
But that team, he was half in and half out, and built that team wrong from the start.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
He had too much power in his first draft. And his second, he really did have too much power in his second draft. Matt Rhule's biggest problem since he's been here was he didn't have a guy that he hasn't. He didn't have a GM like he's got this year who's going to say, no, we're not doing that.
Here's the thing, though. How do we know who has actually done what and who makes what decision? The team doesn't come out and say, oh, I made this decision. Right. So we're just speculating at this point, too.
Matt Rhule said, like, I'm not the one in the ivory tower making all these decisions.
Right. He did compliment Scott Fitterer on the and say you're doing
you're doing
on
the Panthers Confidential. He said
it's just my own personal viewpoint. I think Scott Fitterer controlled this entire offseason. I really do believe that.
I think this one, yes.
Well, he did one hell of a job.
This one.
He did. Well, we'll see. I think he did one hell of a job.
And
Okay,
depending
let's
on
face
where
it.
we pick next season, I think he's going to trade down in the first round because he's going to get more picks this year.
And
Well,
whether we
so
like it or not, the linebacker position, the middle linebacker
Robbie
position,
Anderson to the Bears for a third round pick.
as it was as important to John Fox and
You think you get a
and
third
Rod
pick?
Rivera as
Well,
it
to the
was
Bears? Have you
to
seen their
them,
wide receivers?
Yeah.
it is
Hey
not
man,
important
hey,
Matt
real
Rhule
quick,
feels.
real quick before we go forward, man. Let me welcome my man Twan Don to the show.
Twan
you
Don.
there, brother?
Come on.
What's going on, guys?
Big
Going on.
Twan, what's going on, brother? How you doing, man?
Listen,
How
I
you
said we
doing,
should
man?
trade Robbie Anderson for this last season. So
I said that too.
Robbie
I said
Anderson
that
needs
too.
to leave Sir Per alone.
Hey,
Sir Per laid a
Twan,
smackdown on Robbie Anderson.
hey, Twan, how you living, man? What's going on, bro?
Hey, I literally just woke up.
Hey, that's cool, man. I mean, shit, we've been talking about the Panthers linebacking core.
Lack
But,
thereof.
you know, not even sure that we fixed it yet, man. This is the point that I was gonna make earlier, man. And this is kind of what Drew was saying. We haven't drafted these linebackers like we should have, and the fact that our run defense has been so bad has been a product of us having undersized linebackers that don't necessarily have premier top end speed, that aren't necessarily the greatest at minding their gaps. They're not necessarily the greatest dropping back into coverage. So it's like, yeah, there is some. It doesn't mean I think that Derek Brown was worth that top 10 pick, but there is some legitimacy to what Keem has been saying, is that, you know, really on that D line, especially on the interior and having to defend the run, Derek Brown really has kind of been a one-man show for
Because
a good
Cody,
bit now.
and we look at Brian Burns, and even on the other, I wouldn't say. I mean, just focusing on Brian Burns, he's not the best run stopper. He feeds too much into things, and he can't pull out. No, pause. He can't pull out and defend the run. You know, he's a great pass rusher. If you
Hey,
look
bro,
at his PFF grade,
pausing is for PNP, bro. This is
you're right. My bad.
We push flex.
We got some freaks in this chat, all right, bro?
Yeah, bro. We push flex.
Why would an elite linebacker?
Hey, you said fast forward?
fast forward.
I mean,
But anyway, continue, man. I didn't mean. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of speedy, athletic dudes who are just not really good at defending the run. So it really falls on to Derek Brown and whoever really is next to him. Bravion Roy is a really nice comp piece, and he has shown at least lived up to a lot of people's expectations or beyond expectations, because there was none. I mean, we didn't really know who Bravion Roy was coming in. So, and these linebackers don't really help either. So it's not fair to put everything on Derek Brown, but I understand what everyone is saying. Top 10 pick, you're not really getting it done as you should.
It was a reach.
You know, it was a reach.
It was a reach.
Yeah. Also, again, it's not that he doesn't have value on the team. He certainly does, and we're still hoping to get the best out from him. It's just that pass rush, you know. The you know, if how about this? If Derek Brown gets 4-5 sacks in a season, that's a damn good season for him in terms of sack numbers, just because of the nature of the position that he plays.
You know, Sue's a free agent.
What?
Ndamukong Suh? He's a free agent. I just realized that.
God, how old is that guy now?
Yeah,
you know
why? You know why he's a free agent? Look and see who the Bucks signed to replace him.
Yeah, I just saw that they signed. But also
that's a big time signing. I was shocked.
Who did
I
that
wanted
sign?
Panthers to get him, actually.
Akeem Hicks.
But soon will come cheap.
Okay.
Soon will come cheap, though. Like, extremely cheap.
Yeah.
Hey, what team was Akeem Hicks playing on? The Bears?
The Bears.
Yeah,
Yeah, the Bears.
Yeah, okay.
Also, Pierre-Paul. What was his name? Pierre-Paul? Jason Pierre-Paul?
Yeah.
He's still a free agent.
Listen, some of them guys are going to want high money. Like Akeem Hicks got $10 million. $10 million.
I don't think Sue gets that,
like
though.
that, he ain't worth that $10 million.
I think Sue gets like 5.
If you got $10 million, and you can only spend $10 million on one player. one player. Would you
I
take
think 5
Cam
million
Newton?
on Sue.
Would you take Cam Newton for 10 million, or would you take a
I would put 5 million on Sue for sure.
No,
you
Sue,
do it
they
for
got
5
for
million.
10. With 10 on one player. You can't divide that shit up. These NFL players are greedy sons of bitches. They want all that money.
Hey,
I
but
think
at
you
the end
can
of the
get
day,
5
he's
mil,
he's still a free agent. So
Yeah, he's
you know.
I think you can get Sue.
For 5
Look,
million.
at the end of the day, I'll take an all-star linebacker over any quarterback that we could sign right now.
Right.
That's just what it all comes down to, in my opinion.
I guess UP Hightower would be the best linebacker right now.
Well, that's why I like Jeremy Chin at linebacker, man. I feel like Jeremy Chin did more at linebacker than he did at safety. That's just me. I love Jeremy Chin at linebacker. I love that fast, athletic. When he's close to the ball like that, man, he was untouchable. He was untouchable at linebacker, man.
G baby, if we're being real, he might as well be a linebacker even still. Like they're gonna play him at strong safety. They're gonna put his ass in the box.
And to be fair, Cody, Brandon Smith can play safety. I know people don't put him at safety, but he has the speed and athleticism to be playing safety.
But,
so I mean,
people put him at linebacker because he's 6'3", 250.
Right.
I mean, they were talking about getting Honey Badger and putting Jeremy Chin back at the linebacker.
Did y'all listen to Steve
Wilkes'
interview? Pressure?
Yeah, do I listen to who?
Steve Wilkes?
Yes.
No.
During his conference? No, I actually, dude, I've been so out of it, man. I've been doing so many different things. I didn't hear I didn't hear all of McAdoo or all of Campbell.
He talked about Chin. He said
We should have never got rid of Tahir Whitehead.
Yeah, he said.
Wait, Quan, what did you say?
He said Chin's going to play in the.
Hold on, Kenneth. Hold on.
No. Yeah. What did you say?
Oh, that was a total joke.
Okay.
Thank God.
Go back to sleep. Drink your cup of coffee.
I didn't even hear what Twan said.
He said we should have never left. We should have never got rid of Tahir Whitehead.
That's crazy. But anyway, hold on. All right, go back. Let's go back to Kenneth.
He said that Chin is going to play a Joker role. To me, when he said that means he's going to play a lot in the box. You need to listen to and second note, they asked Wilkes about his lawsuit issue with the league, and he really didn't want to talk about that right now. And
you know what? I don't even blame him. If I'm the Panthers,
why they asked that question. But
how about this? If I'm him, I don't want to answer that, and if I'm the Panthers, I don't want to answer that. Right. But I will say is this: if we're gonna have Steve Wilkes, I'll bet you anything that we're going to see a lot more safety and corner blitzes.
Right.
I think they're going to send J.C. Horn like a heat-seeking.
I don't think that's a good thing.
On second and third. Well, and the reason I say that, if you go back to the time when Steve Wilkes was our defensive coordinator, that was the most blitz-happy the Panthers have ever been.
That's facts.
Yeah,
That's facts.
And I do like that aggression. And even I hope we don't rely on it too much, because
that's what I'm saying.
If you're relying on it too much, your defensive line isn't making consistent pressure on its own. But what I will say though is that on those second and third downs, if you time it right, dude, Jeremy Chin, J.C. Horn, Dante Jackson, they all run a 4-3. Like, there's only so much you can do if one of those dudes decides to just hightail it at your ass. You know what I mean?
But see, Cody, this is why I'm saying that's why I like Jeremy Chin at linebacker, because at the end of the day, fellas, we're not talking about one person. And I don't think I've heard not a single person on C3 podcast that has talked about Xavier Woods, man. I like Xavier Woods, man. I feel like Xavier Woods is a great safety. He's an old school safety. He will come up and he'll knock you in the fucking face, man. And I feel like
we don't know what his role is going to be.
I don't think you do that full time. I really don't. I don't think you do that full time though. I think he's a sub package linebacker.
Well, let me ask you this: so, G baby, if you did that, so if you put Xavier Woods at strong safety, who are you putting at free safety?
I'm putting Dante Jackson at free safety, and I'm putting Jeremy Chin back at fucking linebacker, man.
Did you say Dante Jackson?
Dante fucking Jackson, yes.
Dude,
He's rangy as fuck. He's athletic as fuck. He's got amazing ball skills. He comes up and he can tackle. He's Dante Jackson's a dog. This is just my personal opinion, man. I would put Dante Jackson at free safety, and then I have C.J. Henderson, I have J.C. Horn, and I have Keith Taylor. We signed Chris Westry. He's 6'4".
Look, man.
Chris Westry, we don't talk about Chris Westry at all.
All right, let's go to Nick.
Okay, G baby, you're all entitled to have your own opinion. That's perfectly fine. The thing is with Dante Jackson, we've said numerous times, maybe not so much last year, but every single season before, we have always talked shit about how Dante Jackson cannot tackle worth a shit. Okay, so I'm not comfortable with putting him at free safety. Sorry. Like, that's just my 2 cents on that one.
Thank you.
And also, like, I really do think that, we're talking about what position is best for what player. Dude, I think Dante can be a shutdown nickel corner, man. Like, really, at that dime kind of safety position. Like, man, I think that would be a perfect matchup for him to cover the slot.
What about AJ Bouye at safety?
But also...
he's not on our team.
Oh, he's he's not.
AJ's not on the team anymore.
He's on Houston.
They do like Keith Taylor. And by the way, G Baby, you were talking about what's the guy we drafted from Baylor?
Barnes.
Yeah, Barnes. That guy, he has the type of speed to be a free safety. So
we need to put somebody at free safety. And I would put Xavier Woods at strong safety, and I would move Jeremy. Jeremy Chin needs to be close to the ball and close to the line, man.
I agree.
Bro, he did magic at linebacker, man. Like, that man is a linebacker, bro. That's our Thomas Davis. Jeremy Chin, that's our fucking Thomas Davis. That's
They believe in to take over that safety position.
You know, we had a linebacker that Matt Rhule chased off last year that eventually pro.
Don't go there. Please don't.
Did I not just say that, boys?
Yeah.
I mean, we had our problems. We were fixing our problems, but Matt Rhule's ego again.
Yes, facts.
Yeah, that linebacker also had an ego.
But Denzel Perryman didn't fit Matt Rhule's brand.
Well, look, man. As somebody who not only plays the whole leadership role and directs people, but is also that grunt. Okay, you also need. You can't have such an abrasive personality as Perryman did. Okay, it's not going to work for the system that Matt Rhule is trying. And as much as I will hate on Matt Rhule and say that Matt Rhule is probably the worst coach that the Panthers have ever had, okay, I can't fault the man for that because I've been in that
not
position
even let him get to a preseason game.
Let me finish. Okay, I've had to let good workers go just because of their attitude. So sometimes it doesn't even take a preseason game to figure that one out.
Well, I'm gonna kick back on that because somebody brought that up one time before. You guys are comparing I'm not gonna say your job is regular, but you guys are comparing civilian jobs to the NFL, man. As a coach, you know what I'm saying? Look, Matt Rhule's system sucks. And no, I hate to be so blunt, but
talk that yak, G. Talk that fucking yak.
Let me just say what it is. You know what I'm saying? Matt Rhule as a head coach, he hadn't earned the right to be firing guys, like Pro Bowls or whatever. I mean, the guy went over to the Raiders, became a Pro Bowl over there. I mean, somebody tell me what problems the Raiders have with him. How did he not mix with them? What problems did he cause with the Raiders?
The Raiders had their own problems that they were dealing with.
Somebody tell me how him and the head coach bumped heads. It's Matt Rhule, guys. It's Matt Rhule's. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Keem gets mad at me because I call him a Matt Rhule apologist. But it's just
boy.
That's his job as head coach to fix those problems.
Matt Rhule is a garbage coach Let's just conclude with that. Let's stop making up excuses for this guy. But at the end of the day, we keep having these discussions because this guy named Tepper he's not gonna fire him.
Look, Twan, the whole reason why we compare all these situations to our normal everyday jobs is because there's one factor that remains the same, and it doesn't matter what job you hold. You're dealing with people, and you have to make people happy. And sometimes you have to do things that you don't like to do. Sometimes you have to do things that are not good for you, but they're best for the company. Okay? And there are times where you just have to cut bait, even though someone is great. The very first day, on his way to training camp, the dude got pulled over for doing like 90 and a 65. Okay? Put it all over social media. And then, as soon as he shows up to training camp, gets out of his car with his Panthers helmet on. Okay, that's not a good sequence of events.
Hey, see,
okay?
so I'm saying,
and remember, y'all, he was injured too.
Yeah, let me go one more time. In the NFL, you guys can't worry about that type of shit. That's personal.
Yes.
You are trying to get a grown man who makes millions of dollars to confine to your personal, your morals and your ways. No one gives a shit in the NFL, bro.
Really? Then why has Colin Kaepernick not been signed over the last few years?
I mean, but that's kind of a whole nother. That's a whole nother. But my thing is this.
Eric Reed.
It's similar. It's not similar. Like, look, listen. I agree with Twan to a point, right? That it's like, yeah, there are some players that if they're good enough, they're worth it. But and again, I reiterate, coming back to this, man, like people forget, not only was it the speeding ticket, but this man, for the entirety of the time that he was here, he had like 2 foot injuries back to back on top of all of this other shit. Now, yes, did the man end up going on to be a Pro Bowl player? Yes. I mean, maybe the Panthers could have and should have.
We can't just die.
But hold on, the last thing I'll say is that hindsight is definitely 2020. And again, there are things to be said for and against them. Like our linebacking core was not very deep at the time, and they still let him go. And they had their reasons, but they moved on from a player that ultimately we could have really used. So it's like there's enough players to go around.
That's for sure.
Drew,
but he brought Tahir Whitehead, and he stayed. Tahir Whitehead stayed.
Right, but what Cody's trying to say, that they didn't know what this person. I mean, foot injury after foot injury, not participating, and when he does participate, he comes in with a car accident, and he acts like everything is fine. They don't know. They didn't know what they had in him, so it's fair to say at that time they let him go.
He made the Pro Bowl when he was with the
Trojans. They didn't know what they had. He been Pro Bowl already. They didn't know what they had.
But he was hurt. He was hurt. He wasn't participating. Like that doesn't make sense.
Right,
then he gets back. If they didn't know what they had in him, why did they go get him?
Cody, you know why Phil Jackson's one of the greatest coaches of all times? Not because he knows basketball. It's because he can manage.
He's an idiot.
Well, he's a phenomenal coach. I'm not talking about GM, but like he knows how to manage.
Hey, Twan, you know what he did with your team. Don't even play.
He wasn't a coach, though. He was a GM.
This is not no damn basketball podcast.
Phil Jackson.
I don't know
My bad.
about basketball.
You said, why was he the greatest coach? You didn't say GM.
I said head coach.
If I have to spend time,
put it like this: Jackson got Dennis Rodman to play.
I'm gonna get out of my chair and do a fucking backflip.
Let's start talking about basketball. I don't even follow basketball, but let's talk about it.
What you say, Cody?
Oh shit!
What now?
I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
No, I said if I have to spend more than 5 minutes talking about basketball, I'm gonna get out of my fucking chair and do a backflip.
So what did I see that?
I want to see that.
I say we do 5 minutes. Let's do 5 minutes.
So let's hear. Cody's going to get out of his chair and do a backflip, and he's also going to wear a Gamecocks jersey on Tuesday.
No. I never said that lame shit now.
Hey, Cody, I'll make it easier on you. I'll get you a CJ Horn. Easy. How about that?
Hey, Cody, can you go back to that last statement, Cody? Go back to the last statement before Rex.
That right there?
Let me say it again, bro, and I've been saying this forever. Shout out to JSU. He said that doesn't make sense because CMC's injuries was back to back.
But you know what CMC gives you.
Matt Rhule wants players that won't challenge him.
Hey, let's use our brain, fellas.
Well, that's just too
Please.
freaking bad. Matt Rhule is getting paid as a head
That's,
coach.
remember, he came in. He got rid of all
compare a 2000 running back to Denzel Perryman.
Denzel Perryman was a Pro Bowl linebacker.
Okay, but he was a Pro Bowler that wasn't participating in your OTAs.
Yeah, he wasn't a Pro Bowl when they traded him.
Christian McCaffrey don't play the preseason. And
Christian McCaffrey was giving you good numbers when he was healthy, though.
That's
when you weren't playing him 98% of the snaps.
Denzel Perryman was healthy. He was a Pro Bowl linebacker.
Was Denzel Perryman? Hold on. Now let's not compare a guy who played 98% of the snaps, which is unheard of from a running back, and gave you those numbers when he was healthy. Let's not compare that to when he was on 1 year when he played 98% of the offense. God, come on, guys. He's our brain. The reason he's hurt is because we keep playing him like that.
Look, we can all sit here and we can argue back and forth, okay, but let's not forget that Matt Rhule drafted a long snapper.
That's true.
That's true. Why? Why you
definitely true. I mean, like look, but again, like, no, hold on, like, no, listen, when you're talking about Christian McCaffrey, like, what I said earlier is true, man. Like, none of us believe in Matt Rhule, but you want him to be successful because it means the Panthers are going to
I don't want him to be successful.
No, I don't want him to be successful. I want him to do his fucking job, man.
Nobody wants him to be successful.
I'm with you, Cody. I want success. I
want success.
No, we don't want him to be successful.
Well, then you're not a fan. Then you're not a fan.
Let me talk. My thing is this, man. And if you believe that Christian McCaffrey is never going to play another full season of football, what am I supposed to say to change your mind? Like, the man has been hurt 2 years in a row, no doubt. It also doesn't take away from the fact that when he is healthy, there is not a player on our football team in the past 5 years that does for our offense what Christian McCaffrey does.
He's not Todd Gurley.
And the proof is in the pudding at this point in time. So
and Cody,
I'm hoping that he stays healthy.
And to add on to that,
my last thing,
we got still Shaq Thompson.
Yeah, and my last thing, I do want the Panthers to be innovative in the way that they work and the amount of touches that he gets.
Thank you.
Hey, Cody, can I say something?
And Cody, to your point, I mean, everyone looks at Derrick Henry as the best running back. He has yet to play more than 75% of their snaps, and they use him like a workhorse. You got to be efficient how you use players now. You have to be efficient.
Can I make a statement, guys? Can I make a statement? Listen, guys.
We'll go to
hear me out when I say the statement. Just hear me out. Christian McCaffrey is one more bad season away from being a bust. That's the reality. You guys gotta stop hanging on to this one season. He's one more bad season away from being a bust.
Some guys don't even have that season. Let's remember that.
That's true too.
Oh, but who cares? It's one season, and what did you do for
that? I got a question. Who's that a better career?
Hey, they still call Cam an MVP, even though that was one season, right? Let's keep it a buck.
That's a
fact. They praise
I got a question.
As a
We'll go to Kevin's question, and then we'll go to Kenneth.
Who's had a better career, Derek Brown or Christian McCaffrey? I think they were drafted the same position, the same spot, right?
Christian was drafted number 7.
When they were 7?
And I think Derek Brown was 8. Was he not?
He was 8.
Who's had a better career? Who's the bigger bust?
I'm going with Derek Brown.
Was number 7.
I'm going with Derek Brown because he stays on the field and he catches all kinds. You guys can't count Derek Brown a bust because he's catching double teams all damn day.
I'm just saying.
From the line, got to step up.
I don't think either one are busts. But I'm just saying, which one?
McCaffrey gets hurt this year again, and he can't play. He is a bona fide bust. And we need. Look, I'm gonna be real with y'all. People don't like it when I say this, but we need to be trying to move him at the deadline, bro. I'm just talking about the one season he ain't doing nothing.
No, man, y'all don't understand. This is the year where they are trying to hope the stars align and McCaffrey and J.C. Horn and all the players,
Cody.
man. Like they're trying to
listen,
put together the best.
I would agree with him.
Hold on,
And
Cody,
that
you
involves
said
McCaffrey.
stars align and hope. So I'm gonna tell you like my mom used to tell me. Hope in one hand and shit in the other and see which one fills up
See which
first.
one fills up first.
Listen, I would agree with you if he was running like Todd Gurley after his injuries, but he's not. When he's healthy, he is fucking on.
Yeah, and that's
the
one thing,
biggest
man. Like
problem.
the talent is undeniable, and I do think that if they manage his touches, Christian McCaffrey should be able to play a whole season.
What did Christian
Look, I'm down to have the discussion about Christian McCaffrey being
What did Christian do for our record?
A bust as far as monetary worth after this season. Okay, if he makes it until week 13, week 14 without getting injured, and he puts up some pretty good numbers, I'm okay with keeping him. But if he doesn't make it until at least the bye week, all right, you know what? Now let's have a discussion about moving on from him.
That's all I'm saying. Man. Thank you.
Yeah,
and I think that's more than fair to give him until the bye week. You know?
Yeah, but I do think
agree.
that is important. That we do need to give him, like, okay, this is where we have to quit being analysts. Like, okay, hold on, let me finish. Like, whenever it's draft time and you want to put your analyst hat on and evaluate the players and what they do and the injury history, that's fine, right? But now that they're a Panther, it's like, now you have to be a fan, and you should really at least try and be optimistic about the shit that we have going forward, or else, like, why be a fan? Like, even if your team is projected to be a bad team next year, bro, at least you have those players that you know are badass, that are fighting their ass off every game to win, right? Guys like Jeremy Chin, Dante Jackson, Christian McCaffrey, and that's another thing, man. Like, say what you want about Christian being injured. Like, everyone plays better when Christian's on the football field.
Exactly.
The defense
Everyone.
plays yeah,
Everyone.
the defense plays faster because they know our offense is more potent, and our offense is able to run the football, which is something that we're almost never able to do at a high level without Christian.
It just doesn't translate into wins. It don't translate into wins.
When was the last time we won? Hey, Cody, when was the last time we won a game with Christian McCaffrey in the line?
Exactly, just don't translate into wins.
When's the last time we had an offensive
I mean, yeah, it's been like what 2000.
Christian McCaffrey's never had a winning season in the NFL.
2021, no, the start of last season.
When's the last time we had an offensive line like this?
Yeah, that's a great.
Never.
A very long time. A very long time.
Yeah,
and that's a
If
big
Sam Darnold can't stand,
so then Kevin, I agree with you wholeheartedly. This is probably one of the best offensive lines we had, but you got to remember
One of the best.
But
on
Christian
paper.
McCaffrey got hurt
But it ain't got nothing to do with the O-line. Christian got hurt from a non-contact
Hold on. Christian McCaffrey injuries don't got nothing to do with the offensive line. Is that what we're saying right now?
No, I said Christian McCaffrey got hurt.
Why was it a non-contact?
Guys, one at a time.
Yeah, one at a time, everybody.
Christian McCaffrey got hurt last year against the Houston Texans. What did the O-line have to do with that?
Nothing.
He was in the open field and he pulled up lane.
He has been bombarded with no open lanes for the longest time, playing 98% of the snaps, and the one time after all that crap, he gets injured, and now we're not going to talk about the offensive line. Is that what we're saying right now?
It didn't have nothing to do with the O-line.
Bullshit.
It was a non-contact injury.
All right, hold on, wait. Let me
I guess it didn't have anything to do with Cam's injury.
Thank you. Thank you.
If you don't cut, all right, Cody and only Cody. How long has Christian McCaffrey? How many seasons has he ended on IR?
2 right now.
Okay, then. So let's be real here. Okay, let's all be real. Let's pull out the pacifiers, take off your diapers, and let's be real. If you end his season as a Panther because he spent the last 2 years on IR, then Thomas Davis was a bust as a Panther because he got hurt. He spent 3 years on IR. 3 years on IR.
Fuego.
And he turned his life around. He turned it around to be the best Panther that ever.
Let me get pickle. Let me get pickle with you, brother.
Yo, Kenneth just dropped a
just
bomb.
Drill Sergeant
All
Kenneth.
of y'all, bro.
Because Chris
real
wants to come back. If you
Real
want to talk about
quick, and then
us,
Quan, you can
let's
say
talk
something.
about a few guys
Drew,
who never wanted to, who might
hey,
have been
Drew, can I
drafted
get
by
Pickle when he's
Carolina,
done, too?
but didn't really give a damn to play for him.
Okay.
I would agree with
Drew.
y'all if he was running like Todd Gurley after his injuries, but he's
Yeah,
still running
yeah.
like Chris McCaffrey.
Hey, Drew, hold on. Hey, Pickle, bring your ass back here. Don't go nowhere.
Nah, hey, come on,
I
that
ain't
was a
going nowhere.
damn good
I'm
point.
quiet.
No,
I'm
I'm
quiet.
You ain't going nowhere.
But
I'm
guys,
quiet.
wait.
I hold it all in.
Wait. No, I have to admit, that is a damn good point that he
It's
made.
not.
That is a very, very
I
good
didn't
point.
hear. What did he say?
No, listen up. After 3 seasons, Thomas Davis should have been considered a bust after
Right.
3 consecutive ACL
Exactly.
tears. So why are we already writing off Christian McCaffrey like
Steroids.
he's done and old
Right.
news?
But okay, let me tell you why. Because Thomas Davis's career, Thomas Davis, how many years did he play before he started getting hurt?
Like 2, honestly,
Davis
right?
Christian
Davis
Christian
wasn't all
only
that
played
good before he got
1
hurt.
year and then he started getting hurt.
Oh, wait.
Thomas
2
Davis only
years.
played like a year or 2, didn't he?
No. Thomas Davis played for a lot of years before he started getting hurt.
Christian McCaffrey played 3 seasons, including that year he was almost MVP before he got hurt.
Christian McCaffrey started getting hurt after his first year.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did. What football team were you watching?
No, he
Wait,
didn't.
what are you talking about? He was
It
hurt.
was after
What
his second
injury?
year.
Christian McCaffrey.
What injury?
Yeah, he only got hurt after 2000.
After his second.
After his second year, yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing that I will say that adds to Kenneth's point. Okay, in that 2020 season, okay, I think that was the one where he played what, like 6 games, and then he was put on IR for the rest of the season or something like that. Okay, that was when we had Teddy Bridgewater, and even you guys were saying the entire time by week, I want to say it was like 14. There is no point to bring Christian McCaffrey back at the end of the season because it is already a losing cause. So why injure our star player?
So I have the injuries in front of me.
I was looking at 2.
2016 and then it was 2020. Come on, bro.
Okay. Let me throw this in there. In 2005, the Panthers drafted Thomas Davis. He wore number 47. Okay, he played multiple positions. He played 16 games, but he only started 1.
He tore his ACL in 2009.
And 6, he started at left outside linebacker, and he had a total. And he was good, but he wasn't. He was just a left. He was that third linebacker off the bench. He did that for 2 years. Then in 2008, he started at right linebacker, and then he got hurt in 2009 and 10 and 11.
Yeah.
Because when Ron Rivera come in, if you remember Thomas Davis talking, when Ron Rivera come in, Ron talked to Thomas Davis man to man. And Ron Rivera said, I played linebacker. You got the heart for it. And he told Marty Hurney, I want to keep him. And he did.
I'm not comparing Christian McCaffrey to a guy who went out there and played with a broke arm in the Super Bowl.
That man's Thomas
Davis.
I'm just saying.
Thomas Davis has earned a right to should be mentioned.
I feel like everybody's missing the point. You don't have to make a one-on-one comparison, right? Okay, right. Davis played 3 years, then started getting hurt.
How about Adrian Peterson?
Christian played 2 years and then started getting hurt. The point being, our team is undeniably a better player with both of those guys when they're on the field as opposed to being off of it. And I think right now what Thomas Davis meant to our defense, how about this? Especially like with Luke Kuechly and, K1 Short, Starla Tudele, Johnson. I mean, Thomas Davis was definitely one of the most important members of our defense. But Christian McCaffrey now is even more important to our offense than Davis was to our defense.
100%.
Whoa.
I'm telling you, man. Like,
Whoa.
that's not to compare Thomas Davis. That's to say that our offense without
Blasphemy,
McCaffrey
Cody.
has been dead on arrival.
Yo,
It's nothing
Thomas
without
Davis got
McCaffrey
Luke
at this
Kuechly on
point.
that
That
defense.
is
There's
blasphemy.
nobody on this offense.
Yeah, exactly. There's nobody on this offense besides DJ, and he needs a quarterback to throw him the damn ball.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Y'all can't be
again, man,
comparing
like,
no damn linebackers to no running backs.
hey, I'm just saying, I'm fucking excited,
Well, you
man.
compare a football player
I
to a
think
football
the
player.
Panthers
Right.
have a legitimate surprise football team, man.
They do.
Really.
But
Well,
they all
I'm predicting us. I'm predicting us to win 8-9 games. Hey, Key, what are you predicting us to win?
I predict less than 6 games. So I think it's a shit
It
show.
sounds like I'm more on board with the team than you are, but you're making all these arguments.
No, it's not because this team is not going to do good. It's going to take a time to gel. We just got an offensive line on paper that's going to potentially be good, but you need the mentorship around them to get them out there. You cannot just. Here's my point. Here's my point. Arguing that CMC is a good player versus our record has nothing to do, and there's very little correlation with that. That's all really I got to say.
Yeah,
I predicted 12
You know
wins
the
last
bottom
year,
line
so I
is,
think
but
we're
the
gonna
bottom line
win
is
4
really
games
simple.
to win 12.
The bottom
Hey,
line
hold on, Kenneth, I'm gonna go right to you. JD, you there, bro?
Yeah, what's good? What's good?
There he is. There he is.
What up,
going on,
JD?
bro?
My
What up,
Gamecock
JD?
brother.
Yeah, man. What you thinking about this team, man? Or what? After this conversation, I know you've been listening to it.
Yeah, I just had to hop on. Like I'm laughing hearing all this CMC slander.
Right, bro.
But on paper, we have all the makings to make a strong push. Definitely win double-digit games this year. It's ultimately going to come down to coaching. Like last year, there were games that we should have won, but we got out-coached. So for all the talk about the players, CMC's usage and the injuries and how those correlate, if the coaches go out there with a game plan that limits how often he's getting the ball, more so to the point, we have threats at every position. Get the ball to DJ, get the ball to Terrace Marshall, get the ball to all these cats out there. The offense is actually able to put up points. The defense vibes off of that. If the coaches go out there with a good game plan, then I feel like Snow has gotten better each year. And I'm excited to see what McAdoo can put together. If McAdoo can make Sam look like a decent QB, this is an easy 10-win team. And my honest hope is that Corral pushes his preseason performance and how he handles the offense in OTAs and in training camp. I'm hoping Corral just takes the starting position and sets fire to the league.
So JD, I have a question for you, and then I got to bounce out.
Your head, bro?
Okay. So JD, what do you think is going to be more imperative on how we do this season, the QB play or how we are coached? Because personally, I feel like the QB play is going to determine how we do this season over the coaching.
100%.
Yeah. So I feel like those two things correlate. And the system put in place is, like I say, if McAdoo is able to put in place a system that Sam can execute, then Sam's gonna look like a hell of a better QB.
Yeah.
So I feel like those two things tie together.
Yeah. So look, I got 2 more questions that I want to ask y'all, and then we'll get out of here. Since we're talking about McCaffrey, when they were doing the interview with Dante Foreman, is it Deontay or Dante?
I think it's Deontay, right?
Yeah, it's Deontay.
Yeah, it's Deontay. That's what I thought. Deontay Foreman. They asked a question about his workload, and that is a good question, right? We're talking about Christian and his injury prone and this and that, but we did sign a big time 3rd down power back in the offseason. So I'm wondering, how much are we going to use Foreman in this offense. Like,
He's
are we
listed as the
rarely
third.
going to see him, or like, how often?
I
How often are we
He's
going to see?
listed as the third down, as third on the depth chart right now. So
Is he really?
Yeah.
There's not really an official depth chart out yet.
I mean, on ESPN they have him.
Well,
listed.
Yeah, but I guess that's not truly official
Yeah,
yet.
that's not. That's
That's the
just
most
done by
official I
the
can come
reporter.
up with.
That's just done by the reporter, though.
He should be second on that depth chart. It's we need that 1-2 punch. It really is.
And he is, by the way. There's no one on our team that's
Right.
that's
So
more proven than him
Right.
by a mile.
Right.
It's not Tuba. It's not,
I mean, there's really not much. There's really not much tape on him. But that 45 yard run in the playoffs that Ryan Tannehill kind of through away that game was one of his best runs. I can't really find any other tape. But
we were talking about last year, the worst offensive line probably. That run offense was awful too.
Right.
White chocolate espresso. That's my man right there.
McAdoo's also always used a blocking fullback on his teams. The only true blocking fullback we have.
Brown looks very lean.
Yeah, you can definitely tell.
He put on a lot of weight, right?
No,
Brian Burns said he got strong. He got stronger. He got stronger. Is what he said.
Yeah, there's a couple of guys, Cody. I don't know if you can. My bad, Kenneth. If you can pull up Chin looks better. Better and bigger than last time. I was like better. And he looks a lot bigger than last time. He doesn't look like he doesn't look like he's 220.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you something right here, man. I'm getting all the addresses on anybody. I'm gonna say it one more time. I'm gonna get your address for anybody that continues to come after my boy Brian Burns. You guys need to find a real problem to talk about and leave Pro Bowlers out of your mouth.
I mean, you're referring to one person, Twan.
No. It's a lot of people when I talk to.
Hey, Mitch Trubisky was a Pro Bowler.
Man, keep Burns out your mouth.
Mitch Trubisky was a Pro Bowler, bro.
But you know what? Brian Burns, if I'm not mistaken, in his presser, he said he now weighs 255.
No, Burns was supposed to make the Pro Bowl last year, even though he made it this past year.
He should have made it this year, but last year. Yeah.
So, I mean,
hey, look, I love my man Brian.
Else on the defense except him.
Hey, yo, Brian, I think is our best edge rusher, no doubt. He's our best pass rusher. He needs to get
look at
better
Chin right there.
edge.
Look at Chin.
Look, you can tell he's been
and Burns.
Up. Yeah,
and Burns.
You can tell he's been beefing up. That's definitely what
That's
I
a
like
big
to
dude.
see. And listen, Twan, I love Brian Burns, but he needs to set a better physical edge, bro. And that's just being real. Like for a long time, this dude, his only real deficiency, in my mind, has been when runs bounce to the outside. You really have to be able to set a physical edge.
So
now
what's the point of setting the
contract
edge
here?
up? Well, everybody keeps saying, what's the point of setting the edge up when people say we can't stop the run?
I mean, but it's all connected. Like we have to
Even if you still need the guy to the inside, who gonna stop the run?
See, that's from the linebackers. I wanted to call in and when y'all were talking about that. So go back and watch the games last year. You go back and watch a lot of the games last year with Brown in that nose tackle, nose guard position. Brown is doing his job. You say he's a space eater. Space eaters are supposed to, like, often enough, defensive linemen turn into offensive linemen and they start blocking for the linebackers to get downhill, make the tackle. There were multiple moments in which the edge was set or the gaps were held and the linebackers weren't there. So, yeah, I agree with Cody. Brian does need to get better at holding, like, just contain. Like, those are typically some of the hardest hits in football when the running back's trying to run out and he has to cut back and there's a linebacker already coming straight at him. Like, the moment you pinch your foot and try to go the other direction, this dude's coming at you full speed, you get your head taken off.
What is that?
Yeah, how have I never
He slaps Myles Garrett.
Yeah, that was the point.
Get out of here.
Smack, dumbass.
I was at that game, bro.
Who was playing? It was NC State. And
That was NC State against Pitt.
Look at my man Matt Corral with the motherfucking missile launcher, bro.
Yeah. Hey, Cody, now that you said that too, Kobe, yo, we keep talking about what Sam Darnold gonna do next year, and I said this on my show.
Hey, look at that swag.
That boy Matt Corral is not gonna even he gonna take that dude's job, bro.
Hey, Cody, you have that picture
with a totally different swag, bro. He gonna take Darnold's job.
Yo, Cody, show that video of him fighting that dude on the.
Wait, before you do that, Cody, did you see the picture of the NFL posted of all the rookie quarterbacks? Did you see that?
Yeah.
Everyone looked like a bum except Matt Corral.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You mean every single one? Yeah, I can find that. Yeah. No, Matt Corral got swag, bro. Like, this man really has that kind of bravado.
Yeah, it feels like it's something about him, bro.
Yeah.
When he was in high school, when he said, "Get me out of here," there's nothing but rich kids here that are going.
I like that. Blue collar.
Yeah, I can't learn like this. That's what he's basically saying, bro.
He beat the fuck out of Wayne Gretzky.
Blue collar. Yeah. I love that.
Bro, how about that? Yo, from now until the end of our days, that's gonna be the stuff of legends.
Legends.
That's the time Matt Corral beat up a rich kid. Old Gretzky's son just beat his ass.
You gotta back it up,
the shit out of him.
You gotta back it up.
That shit,
got the video, Cody? Can you get the video?
Yeah, I'm gonna pull it up. My quarterback's ready.
Great,
damn, guys.
You gotta back
so
it up,
we promote violence now.
We do. Yes, we do.
Yeah, bro.
You a rich kid? Beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, bro.
Actually,
We some greasers.
Bro, this is.
Bro, we've been losing for so long. I'm feeling.
Kid probably went up to him like, "You know who my dad is?" He's like,
"Yeah, fuck your dad."
Yeah, right.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah, I want to see that. I ain't gonna lie.
Fuck your dad. Boom.
It's because he's my quarterback now. I want to see it.
Exactly. You got to prove it.
Well, it's not that fight, but it's like a fight that you got in on the field at Ole Miss.
Ole Miss, yeah. It's like
I see that too.
Yeah,
that's some Steve Smith shit. And I love it.
Ice up, baby. Ice up.
Well, you know what would make my day? If I saw Matt Corral in practice cussing Sam Darnold ass out, like, I'm going to take your job.
I want to see him get a fight with the quarterback.
I'm coming for your shit.
With Josh Norman.
All right, I got it. Hold on.
Josh Norman lost that fight.
Cody about to get demonetized.
Oh, yeah, you damn. I didn't even think about that. You're right.
Yeah. Cam Newton choked Josh Norman ass out.
Let me try to find the clip. Because this one got the CBS shit on it. Hold on.
Deshaun Watson's
I saved your ass, Cody.
I know, right, King? And shit, if I don't find it, I ain't about to put that shit up either.
Facts.
Yeah, who was that running back that used to be the running back with Oregon that got drafted by the Tennessee Titans? The big ass dude, he won a Super Bowl. He used to play with the Patriots. He moved with a lot of who?
LeGarrette Blunt.
LeGarrette, yeah, man. LeGarrette used to
he sucker punched that dude. Remember, you like pat him on the shoulder. Like,
damn, he used to beat everybody. He beat somebody up on every team he went to. This dude was out of control, man.
I loved him for that, though. Like,
hey, look, I like Smitty out there breaking jaws. You remember when Smitty was with us?
Dude, even if I wanted to play it, I couldn't, man. Twitter is like scrubbed of this fight, man.
Cody, I sent you a picture on Twitter.
Ryan Brooks' press conference. He talks about babysitting his dogs, and he had to call his mom to come help him out.
Oh
yeah, he has a whole litter now.
He said, this mama duty stuff ain't for him.
Yeah, I mean, he's rich, so that's what his mom should, hey, come help me out.
Yeah, that's funny the way he put it.
Spider.
Yeah, the pups.
Hey, this is what Kevin wanted to show. This is Kevin hanging out at the midget.
Kevin, what's your Twitter? Because I think I saw that on Twitter.
Cody, that look like your ass.
Shut up, Quan.
It looks like fucking Cody in the middle.
Yo, you dumb as hell, bro.
Cody been fake.
And look, the guy on the bottom right, that's the Bat Daddy, man. That's Greg with the beard.
Yo, that guy, he dresses Mario.
Cody been out here fucking faking the whole time, bro.
Damn, yo, maybe that's my brother on some real shit.
That look like that shit smell though.
Yo, bro, maybe that's my long lost little
That look
brother.
like
Hey,
that
you got a
shit
zoom
smell.
option? You got a zoom option?
Yeah,
Yo,
you
he
hear
came
me?
out as Mario.
Hey,
He had the Mario sound and everything.
hey,
That's
that's
your
my
ass, Cody.
long. That's my
Well, he came out with the
long
it's
lost
me,
little
I'm
brother.
Mario.
It's a
That's
me,
fucking-
Mario.
That looks just like fucking Cody Lack.
Hey, y'all heard me?
Stop
That's
playing,
my
bro.
I see him too.
You gotta stop
that's my
playing.
long lost little brother.
Literally, little brother.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying, man.
Bro, that's Cody.
He said Cody come off the top rope.
Hey, yo, know that? Hey, y'all see that motherfucker got the belt, right? That means he's the best one.
Hey,
Hey, that's right. That's my bro, man.
Hey.
I'm pretty sure they're all doing coke before the show.
Oh, that is. Oh,
They were on
shit.
something.
Niggas doing
They were on something.
Yeah, it was like that.
Oh, I'm sure it's like that.
Yeah, I want to hang out with them for real talk.
Hey, no way.
No, you don't.
No, you
Yeah,
don't.
dude. Shit.
You
Don't
can
tell me
sniff a
I
line
don't
and watch
know.
them fucking beat the shit out of each other.
Hey, Cody.
All
Hey,
right,
Cody.
look, this has been my last topic for the night. It's been leaked. The Panthers are the worst rated overall team in Madden 23
Damn.
at a 72 overall.
cool.
Bullshit. Fuck him.
That's cool. But let
They
him
do
Hey,
better
hey, tell Madden to fix the damn franchise mode first, motherfuckers.
It sets up a great comeback, man. Just let him do all that shit.
That's cause Madden sucks in life.
No, they don't
Yes.
suck. Let him do it.
So real talk.
They
When was the
copy and
last time
paste
Madden
franchise
was
mode. The bullshit. It's like add
Yeah,
some
you
fucking new colors in there.
And let me tell you what. Here's when you first get 23, it's real simple. Go to free agency, sign you a couple to the higher level free agent guys, and all of a sudden you'll be rated like 10, 20 points higher. Simple fact.
Yeah. We
One or
always
two
do better
signings,
when we're
and it jumps
lower
up.
rated.
Now,
So.
them guys may not be worth a crap when you sign them, but Madden don't care because they're rated higher, and that's what Madden calculates.
Okay.
They just are. I mean, I play Madden all the time, and Madden, it's. I said this last week. I think it was the other week. I gave up a first round pick and a backup defensive tackle to the Chargers for Justin Herbert. That's all I gave up for Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
He was raised in 82.
Stupid ass Madden.
I turned around and went undefeated, won 17 games straight. And I mean, Madden's a joke, basically. You can trade
Yeah,
for
and
anybody.
it's been a joke for a while.
So,
And the
Yeah,
fact
the
that
Buccaneers
everybody
are the
Madden
highest rated
ratings,
team in
the
Madden,
people
really?
are just all.
Send me back 2K. I want 2K.
But y'all gonna buy it every year, so why
You're
can't you do it?
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, no, I have to buy it just because of the cover. They have the Coach Madden on it. They have Coach Madden on it. So I gotta
Because of the cover, that's what they make printers for. Just put a picture on.
no, bro.
And then a
I'm not
lot
gonna
of
put that shit out.
You do know
I
you
might
can
get a
buy
poster
pictures and covers.
But I like it, yo.
Wait,
Like,
Hey, so hold on. Do y'all believe this? Hey, wait.
Awesome.
Wait, did y'all believe this? They also say that Kalen Barnes is 61 overall, will have 98.
Yeah, that
speed.
boy is a speedster. He's speedy, bro.
That makes sense, man.
He broke the record.
That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah, we gotta see it, man. I think
Bro,
look,
we need to put this man
I like
at
to know.
free
I like to
safety.
know who says that, because I follow a bunch of folks on Twitter and YouTube about Madden, and I tell you what I personally believe. I believe some of these folks are getting this off Madden Share, where it's just made up rosters that people make up.
Yeah, but I mean, apparently this is off of the beta or something. I don't know.
That may be off the beta. It may be
Beta
off the beta.
to do absolutely nothing and change nothing.
who's on the cover?
But
Hey, I'm waiting for that college game, the
Madden's
NCAA.
on the cover, and
Oh,
the screen number
that's
goes
what I
to
want.
And the NCAA game that's coming out, that's gonna be heat.
I think it's next year. I think they said.
It is.
Yeah,
But
next year.
if they even do it correctly,
They're bringing
Right,
it
that's
back
true,
because
that's
they
true.
can get paid off their
they
likeness.
got, I mean, they are Matt.
I
they
still
do
I
have a
still have
great
the old
track
one in my
record
old
with Madden.
Xbox.
They
Yeah,
are
when
making
they do
another
college football,
Y2K.
they have to set it up where you can upload the
Y2K
player in the
NFL.
Madden.
They don't have DJ throw like 3-yard
Right.
passes, interceptions.
Yeah. Hey, yeah, I mean, dude, the last time I bought Madden, it was an impulse buy, man. I had a buddy that came over, and I'm like, fuck it, man, I'll give it something extra to do. So I downloaded
It
Madden.
came with my PS5.
Yeah, bro, and it just feels like, I don't know, it's just bland, dude. Like, it doesn't
Very
have anything
bland.
to say.
2K.
And 2K sucks too.
But 2K on the with TO on the cover. Back in the day.
2K, they add a bunch of sweat and call it a day.
Bro, I'd rather play FIFA. I ain't even into soccer like that.
But,
What happened?
I mean, no,
Those-
man, like, I'm
Those
just,
guys say you guys are perfectly clear to come in here and design the game yourself.
No, they
Shit,
would
I
like
can do
that.
it.
It wouldn't be hard.
hey, y'all know that's what I went to.
It's copy and paste anyways.
Yeah, pretty much.
Shit,
They,
stop
they,
bragging
they,
on that
they
shit. You can
remove
come
a
in here and do
feature
it.
from Madden. They put it on the shelf for 20
Ultimate
years. They
Team.
put it
Take
back
that
in
shit out.
and say brand new. They change the name to it. Same damn bullshit.
But listen
And
to
I'll
this, guys.
celebrate.
If they make the game,
Yeah.
if they make the game. Hey, Kenneth, if they make the game absolutely perfect, then where do you go from there?
It's not perfect.
You just keep making.
I said if they did
You
that.
just keep selling rosters. You just keep selling
No,
rosters.
no,
That's
then
what you need.
it's just gonna be the same game every year. You just change the
One,
play.
Yeah, but I'll still buy it though. You sell me roster, I'll still buy it.
I had
They
to
don't
play a guy
necessarily
who was
want it to
on.
be perfect.
He was 5th and 6th. That
Okay,
was the
they
down.
don't want it to be perfect
5th and 6th.
because if they've had Maddens come out where people cried and bitched about the trade.
Hey,
roster.
I got FIFA, Don. FIFA was free. It's lit.
So then,
let me create my own
yeah,
team.
good because that's the last
All
damn
right.
FIFA they make.
Let me create my own team.
So then,
Hey, look, when they took fumble out of Madden, then they went downhill.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
a lot of things went downhill. So then the
We're
very
gonna
next
be in a
Madden
body
come out,
bag.
and then it's actually realistic tradings because you can't trade for anybody you fucking want to. And now then everybody starts boo-hooing. You can't trade for nobody. I can't win. Damn fucking project.
They need to
Bring
take
back
that shit out of the game, man.
I want
Fuck the
blitz.
trades.
So
Bring me blitz.
Let your ass play regular football on the game. Stop. It's
I
because you
love
have so much power on it.
But
Play with your team and leave it at that.
Hey, but I think FIFA is still free. Go grab it.
yeah, might as well be the last FIFA you get. They make
What
it
up,
FIFA.
Drew?
Hey, listen.
Oh,
I
they're
don't know
not?
about you.
Nope.
Hey, I don't know about y'all, but I'm an extra big nerd, and they just put out the
You're
state
what?
of play.
Hey,
for the
I was gonna ask you, Cody. You're a Final Fantasy fan,
Hell yeah, boy!
brother. Them games are so.
Dude,
I like it, but not to that extent, Cody.
Oh, bro,
I'm
gonna tweet it.
Hey, I will
Never
kick you
played
off of this
one.
podcast, bro.
You actually let me take that back. Let me take that back.
Dude, bro, look. I mean, you have to understand. Like, I mean, I've been playing Final Fantasy since I was like
Me too.
10 years old. You know,
And Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, so for those of y'all that don't know, they just released
Never
a new
played
trailer for
Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy 16. And dude, it's like Game of Thrones meets Final Fantasy.
Let's watch it. Let's watch it.
Bro, it looks like the dopest shit ever, man. Like,
I'm
it looks crazy, dude.
I'm more of a The Witcher person myself, but you know.
Yeah, I fuck with The Witcher.
May the 15th,
I love The Witcher, bro.
May
I have
the
all the games.
Yeah, bro, you saying, Ken?
FIFA on May the 15th of this year, FIFA and EA announced that their partnership has ended. Now, EA
2K, get on it.
Yeah, EA is going to make another soccer game, but it's not going to have the FIFA players in it, and it's not going to be.
What?
Ain't nobody's gonna buy
It's gonna be
that.
street ball. It's gonna be street ball.
Like, don't even waste our money printing that shit.
You know how it is with these games. EA's been sucking for years.
Yeah,
That's like,
EA
I'm
sucks.
coming up with this new Madden. But
Hey, Cody, have you played? You played Dragon Age?
Dragon Age.
That's a no if you got to think about it.
It's been no,
Hey,
it's been
old Bethesda. That's with what's the other game?
The only good game EA has came out with is Fallen Order.
No, I played it a little bit. I never got far into it though.
What, Dragon
I'm
Age?
talking about fucking video
Dragon
games.
I love Dragon Age, bro. You got to get into that,
Are we
man.
talking about video games?
Video games are lit.
And we'll do that
video games are better than the Panthers right
because
now.
they're better than the
Damn right, Drew.
Espresso, that's why I was setting it up, because
what?
When you're talking about your team and it goes into video games, it's a bad day.
Well, it's the summer, so OTAs, there's not much news. It's all bullshit. Can't be looking at people's biceps like, oh, he got bigger.
That's what you were just doing.
I'd rather be looking at Final Fantasy than
You know what they do?
Hey,
You
put
know
on the you gonna put on the trailer? C3?
Shit, OTAs
you know what
matter.
they do, Kip?
I mean, do you think I'll get you think I'll get dinged for that? Because they got
you might. Actually, you might. Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it.
No, I'll do this. Hold on. I got it.
No, you gotta play that midget wrestling.
Final Fantasy is the reason why
Yeah,
you
man,
should
you
be
too bad
for that.
bullshit, bro.
Midgets with attitude.
Hey, someone said Assassin's Creed. Yes, sir, brother. Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, I played every one.
Hey, the most recent ones suck, bro.
I mean, this isn't the whole trailer; it's just the very end. But bro, this shit goes so fucking
Cody,
hard.
you know you're not gonna be able to experience half of that shit.
What are you talking about?
I've never played a Final Fantasy game.
Final Fantasy is weird, brother. You can't go certain places. The movement is boxy.
Well, it depends on which one you play. For the most part, they've been turn-based. Like it's like it's a strategy game. It's a role-playing game. But now, like I don't know if you've ever played Devil May Cry.
Yes.
This next Final Fantasy is gonna play like an action. Like Devil May Cry.
Really?
Style.
Are you for
Ever
real?
since,
Yes, man.
ever since
It's
Kingdom
gonna be
Hearts
first
came
person.
out,
Gamer
Bro,
nerds.
you're about to make me play.
Sounds like a Matt Rhule.
ever since Kingdom Hearts came out, I have been wanting a Final Fantasy
I love
game
Kingdom
that played
Hearts.
like
I
Kingdom
love
Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts, bro.
And I thought Final Fantasy 15, like 15 was kind of like that, but that game, I was so disappointed with that game. Like, I loved it, but I was disappointed with it at the same time.
Same. I was like,
y'all, I'm out. I'm gonna switch over to the Greats podcast. So,
hey man, we're
Fuck
fixing
y'all.
to get off of here anyway. To be honest with you, man, that's I just wanted to end it on telling everybody I'm pumped for some.
Yeah.
some Final
I
Fantasy.
see what you looking at.
Hey, Kendall, I saw that too.
Wait, what?
Well, Cody just happened to stop at that one.
At that one point.
That's just that one point.
Well, I mean, it was funny because like it's Dante, and it's like the meme of him looking back at the sexier
Titties.
chick, and the sexier
It
chick
is.
is Final Fantasy. I thought that was nice.
Yeah, these games are damn near porn now, man. They all the women that fucking got the nicest asses, the titty, everything in the movement is too real.
It's a video game.
Dude, that's why I had to stop playing The Witcher. I was like, this shit's
That's why
crazy.
everything
Nah,
is
bro,
fucking
The
like
Witcher's
that
always
now.
been like that. Tell me, The Witcher's always been like that. That's what you
Bro,
gotta
it's
love
like-
about it.
Bro,
Nah,
but
what
y'all
makes
remember in God of
But
War,
a
you
video
could
game,
do
man,
the,
you gotta go change your fucking underwear, man.
Hey,
That's
y'all remember
too much pressure.
Y'all know, kids. I got a guy, a woman at work that I work with. Kid's really big into video games. He's 15, and she walked in and saw him playing in video games, and she lost her mind. She took that the PS4 he had and throwed it in the street, run over it. That's a
Damn
fact.
What?
She lost her mind. She lost her mind. She come to work a bitching and cussing all these folks out play video games. All I do is play Madden. So I'm sitting over in the corner acting like I'm all a little bit of good. She sits down next to me. She says, I can't believe all that crap on those video games. I didn't help her none. I said, well, dear, I said, you the mama, you ought to pay attention what the hell your kid do.
Hey, let me tell you what. If she took my PlayStation and threw that shit in the road and it got run over, we might have to throw down. Like I might have to run that bitch all the way over.
Cody, what you gonna do, Cody?
I might run that bitch all the way over, bro. Straight. I ain't even fucking around, bro. Hey, don't get
It worked out real good. Him, his mama or his daddy.
Hey, I forgot
so
to
he
shout
tried to
out.
his
But
daddy, and his daddy got him a PS5.
I forgot to shout out, but my boy Johnny Depp is free. He's free. The brother
Hey,
is free.
look. Hey, Drew, did you see the look in Cody's eyes when he said that shit?
Yeah.
Boy,
Hey,
that
yeah,
shit
you
look
know I
real.
was dead serious.
Hey,
too.
he
I
was
was
about to
fucking
have them Fitterer laser eyes.
If
shit.
someone took my Cody look like
Bro,
this.
hey,
Really
bro, I could tell y'all some stories that y'all might never believe, bro.
Probably won't.
If I'm being very honest with you, bro, I've been
Hey.
in some shit in my day, bro.
Cody keep throwing them hands with that high
Bro,
school he
one
went
day,
to.
hey, one day I'm gonna tell y'all some of my life
CD
history.
Do it right
rolling.
now.
They
Right now.
hated.
Bro, I'm just saying I
Oh,
was up to
man.
some shenanigans. You
Hey
feel
Cody,
me?
let me tell you a really, really quick story, real quick. I'm from New York City. Keeps from New York too, man.
Yes, sir.
Cody, I'm on Canal Street, Cody.
Yep.
And these dudes is making fun of this dude in his wheelchair, right? I don't know
that's
what
fucked up.
I don't know what they was doing, but they was just going back and forth ragging. He was ragging back at them, and
Yep.
some dude was like, "I'll push you out your wheelchair." The dude was just like, "I like to see you try that shit," right? All I know is one of them dudes got brave, and that dude got the shit to lift up his legs a little bit, grabbed that dude by his neck, came to the ground with him, and whooped his ass.
Yeah.
God damn. In Canal Street, bro?
Bro, listen. Dropped him. Look. When he got him to the ground, it was a wrap. And I was right then and there, I was like, man, you better stop sleeping on these people in wheelchairs, bro.
Hey, bro. Dude,
Well,
look.
he had the upper strength of 10 men damn day, bro. I was
Bro,
like, damn.
Yeah, I mean, dude, look, like, I mean, here's the thing, like, the type of friends that I'm around, we bust each other's balls, man. So, like, if you don't feel comfortable enough, like, in my normal circle of friends, if you don't feel comfortable enough making a handicap joke, you're probably not really my friend.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, life is too short to be taken serious like
Those
that.
guys
Man.
don't want to be treated differently, man. That's what I learned. Hey, look, but that's why I go at Cody, bro.
Yeah. And by the way, like, you're not gonna respect me because I'm in a wheelchair. You're gonna respect me because I'm a real motherfucker, and I will tell you
Cody will
exactly
fuck
what I
you
feel
up.
the moment that I feel it, bro. And that's just and
Yo,
like,
you don't know Cody. You see them long hair, you be like, damn, but Cody will fuck
Cody
you up.
know how to work these wheels on this fucking wheelchair. You can't
Hey man, y'all from New York? What hey man,
what some rubber on your ass,
bro? What
Yes, sir.
Jay-Z say? What Jay-Z say? Real recognize real, man.
You get motherfucking wheelchair fucking wheel
said
burning
awesome.
your ass around this motherfucker fucking with
Hey,
me,
bro,
bro.
one day, hey, for real, one day, I promise, I'm gonna tell y'all some of my crazier fucking stories, bro. And
I want to hear all of them, bro. I'm here for all
It
of
gotta
them.
be before preseason though. It's gonna be a slow summer.
Yeah, it's a bet, bro. It's a bet. I'm gonna tell y'all some.
Yeah, wait till basketball season in, and then all men are in fucking purgatory around here, bro. We don't know what to do.
Yo, me and Nick
Well,
are
ladies and gentlemen,
I still got baseball though. I still got baseball.
I'm gonna say
Yo,
one
me
more
and Nick
time.
are talking about kidnapping you, bro. We coming to kidnap you.
well, hey
The
man,
Golden State game didn't go the way y'all thought it was gonna go last night, and I did it.
well, hey man, look.
Man, fuck your Celtics.
I said
Oh,
four
we're
games.
talking about basketball now, man. What the fuck?
If I would have put Curry at my captain on DraftKings, I would have won 10 grand.
Hey, is it the finals yet, bro?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
I
playing
don't
the
know
finals.
shit about basketball, man. I don't
Hey, brother, you
follow
got to
it.
get into some basketball and baseball.
Man, that game last night was righteous.
Bro,
Cody, you like baseball?
I mean, no, when I was a little kid, man, but like, no, that's just too slow for me now, man.
I just got to be playing baseball, man. I just can't sit there and watch.
No,
it.
he
I
meant baseball.
No, he said baseball.
Yeah.
No, he said baseball.
Okay.
I mean, bro, like, I mean,
Yeah,
like,
baseball's
to be very real with
I
you,
love baseball.
When I was growing up, like as a young kid, I was
like
a
hitting.
diehard Atlanta Braves
Yeah,
fan.
playing baseball is lit.
Yeah.
But like, dude, once I grew up, dude, I fucking grew out of that shit fast.
Yeah.
Man.
Take me to the ball. Never mind.
I know. But anyway, man, look, my name is Cody Lashley. This has been another edition
Cody
of the C3 Friday Free for All. I am your
A
host.
nickname for you, Cody.
Hey, man, just don't call me late for dinner, man. That's all. That's all, man. Just don't call me late for dinner. Anyway, that's been another edition of the Friday Free for All. Tune in Tuesday nights at 9 to hear us chop it up on the C3 podcast. Gentlemen, anything they want to plug, let the people know about before we jump out of here? Keith, tell them where they can find you, bro.
Yes, sir. Shout out to everybody in here. I love being here.
Shout out.
You can find me on the NLP podcast. You can also find me in 704 Charlotte Bound podcast. Shout out to 704 Charlotte Bound. Shout out to 704 The Great. Shout out to everybody in here in the comment section. Shout out to, I mean, come on. I really come in here for only a couple of guys. Just kidding. I love you. Yeah, you can find me on NLP. We just hit 500 subscribers this Sunday or this Saturday or this Sunday. We're gonna do the raffle for $60 and merchandise. We're gonna start our 1,000 subscriber raffle. We're just gonna keep it going. It's gonna be a game ticket and some merchandise. So listen, we like to give back to the fans. Thank you for bringing up to 500. I mean, I didn't know. I personally never envisioned us getting there. But we appreciate you nonetheless.
Nice, man. Y'all go subscribe to 9 Lives Panther podcast if you have not done so already. Much love to the man Keeb coming on Fridays. Twan, man, tell them where they can find you, bro.
I am the creator of the 704 Charlotte Bound podcast, man. You check us out over there. We usually air every Tuesday night. You know what I'm saying? Trying to catch Cody, man. Cody's such a busy guy. So we might have to switch it to a couple of Wednesdays. But yeah, man, continue and come over there, subscribe. It's really this same format, man. You know what I'm saying? All the love will be appreciated over there. And I'm gonna keep signing off with this for all the keyboard warriors that sit at home while all these guys on the screen are here to entertain you and spend their time to entertain you, and all the people that just want to come on shit and hate. We don't care.
No. Hey, man.
We don't give a
shit.
shit.
On the internet, bro. We're just talking heads on the internet talking about the Panthers, man. That's all we're out here doing. Don't get too hurt at people's opinions, man. They're like assholes. Everybody got one.
Yeah.
And yeah, man.
Shout out to Espresso and my man, bro. And Pickle, I look, man. I'm coming to know you guys, Drew, Pickle. You know what I'm saying? You guys are great guys, man. You're a bunch of characters.
Kenneth, the drill sergeant, Kenneth.
Hey, follow me on Twitter. It's hard to tell what I get into.
White chocolate espresso.
White chocolate. You got Drew.
Kenneth, you need to put out a book.
That boy Drew.
You need to put out a book of Panther pickleisms.
I can listen to
all your little bits of Wyndham's. I can
listen to Kenneth talk stories all day.
Kenneth is the man.
Hey Drew, I need to get your info. Hey, Espresso, I need to get your info, man.
Yeah, y'all link up on
the private chat.
And then shout out my man Drew. Yo, Drew is here every single Friday, man. Drew, you the man, dog.
Hey, I love this stuff, man. I love it.
Everybody, Kevin, he's been watching midgets wrestle, and
that's so random, bro.
And that's what he does in his spare time. And I'm not here to judge because it's not my place to judge.
Hey, White Chocolate, is it actual wrestling or is it scripted?
No, it's straight up wrestling. They
go
down. They go on the top rope and everything. It's the little top rope.
Okay.
Hey, look, and I like to categorically admit, and y'all all help me in saying that was Cody in that picture.
Cody
needs to stop fucking lying.
Cody Longwell's brother.
That's my little brother.
Cody, that was you.
No, that's my little brother, yo.
I saw him. He was in the ring rolling over.
Yeah, that's my son.
Y'all already know Cody out here like Jesus, but that was him.
That's my illegitimate son, y'all. Y'all put some
shit.
The worst ass whooping I ever saw in my life, no kidding, was a blind woman
What?
Oh, damn.
A blind
Wait,
woman.
It's like
I used to attend a school many years ago, many years ago, a little school
Daredevil.
right after high school.
If you really tell me
It's
some blind woman whooped
it's near
somebody's ass.
Charleston, West Virginia. It was called the West Virginia Rehabilitation Center, and it was a school that taught the blind and the deaf and the physically or mentally handicapped how to do a skill. Okay, now that's the reason why. Anyway, well, people was always walking up behind this blind woman, smack her on the ass.
What?
She was nice looking. She was blind. She couldn't turn around. So one day, they did this, and she said, "Hey, if you're gonna feel me, why I can't feel you?" So the dude walks up next to her and said, "Okay, honey, here it is." And she said, "Pull it out if you got the balls for it." He did. She grabbed that thing and twisted that thing. I kid you not. They called the paramedics to put a tranquilizer in her to get her let go. By the time she got done, that dude's balls were purple, and they
he lost a generation of kids.
I mean,
I would
he
do
would
that.
not let go. And every time him or somebody else tried to put her off, she had that stick with her. She had beat the hell out of everybody.
Hey, Drew, I would have beat her ass, bro.
That's not her fault. That's not her fault.
She had beat the shit out. She
She would have
beat the
called
hell
about
out of
3 uppercuts and she grabbed my shit.
Nah, that's not her fault though. Why you tapping her?
I didn't say it was her fault. I just said she was gonna get her ass kicked.
Hey,
She
wait,
grabbed me.
They took her to court. You know what she told the judge? She
What?
says, "I'm sorry, I'm blind, and I just lost my sense of cool." And
She would have
the
said
judge
that shit
says,
with a
"Honey,
black
don't worry
eye.
about it, case dismissed."
But hey, I have a question.
Y'all know that region is off limits.
Hey, but did she have a fat ass?
Oh, damn.
Hey, yo.
No,
Damn.
she didn't.
I just want to know, bro.
But let's be
Is that
honest,
the
I mean,
right question? Like, why did you have-
Her ass was probably actually hit pretty nice ass.
Oh,
damn.
Golly, man, it's
It
like
wasn't
blind
worth,
girl.
it
Come on
wasn't
now.
worth enough what that guy went
the
through.
odds, the odds
bro,
are
yo.
great.
This is truly the Friday night free for all.
Is that what we doing?
Yo, I'm about to get my ass out of here before I say some shit against you.
Hey, Cody, that's what I was thinking, Cody.
If I ain't already done it, this has been another edition of the C3 Friday Free For All. I'm your host, Cody Lashney. Until next time, Panther Nation, keep pounding.
Why?